Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, we're talking about a whole lot of things. Why Airbnb is changing, why cruise on land, my favorite pre-construction project, the top 1A, 1B project, is not anymore. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I had to drop it down. We'll talk about that tonight as well, and much, much more in order for you to make passive income and the investment opportunities and strategies that you need. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday Night Live Stream. And of course, I have the Stop Struggling Now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here tonight. And please share the videos. You never know who can use this information that we are about to talk about tonight because we have conversations. Now, if you can't get into the chat room tonight, there's a reason. It's Wednesday night live stream, and that means only members of the channel can be in the chat room. But never fear, every one of you can watch if you are not a member. And also on Monday and Fridays, chat room is open to everybody. All right, let's get into it tonight, shall we? So let's see who's in the house tonight. It looks like Laverne Penix is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday Night Live Stream. He, of course, has the icon next to his name because he's a member. That means he can be in the channel. Also, he's AKA Mr. Cool here in these YouTube streets. And by the way, it's because of him that I had to talk a little bit about Airbnb. Thank you for that email. I appreciate it. But this is something that we have talked about previously. Let's check out his tagline this evening. Hello, SSN Nation. I hope everyone is doing well. I received a notification and trailer. Thank you so much, Laverne Penix. It looks like he's been getting the notification and trailer like clockwork, but not that many people get them. Tonight, I thought I was going to be back on track. No notification and no trailer pop up for me. Unbelievable. Still, the one time it happened this past week, and I thought I was going to be back on track. But anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, if you have anything to say, you can always email me, or if you see this in replay, make comments down below. Let's start out with this Airbnb, shall we? Okay. You guys already know I've talked about several things, and if you are a new listener, I've been doing Airbnb ever since they started, just so you get some sort of a reference point. When Airbnb was first starting out, and all they were talking about was sleeping on couches and things like that, I was in California. They called me. So I'm one of the first people that listed as a host on Airbnb back in the day, 2012, 2013, somewhere in there. All right. Now, search the channel. You can see when how much I was making with them. And I actually showed my 1099s. We have a lot of clownery and foolery happening here on these YouTube streets. We have people talking about Airbnb. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a host on Airbnb, you get 1099s. So when somebody starts showing you some other website and not showing you their 1099s, I take offense. They're acting like they're experts, but they're not showing you their real numbers. They're showing you some websites that says, well, we made this amount. I'm like, well, show the 1099s then. Everybody gets one. That's all I'm saying. I show mine only for like 2015, 2017, 2016. I haven't shown them in the last 3 or 4 years. But nonetheless, I still showed mine. So you guys can see the revenue numbers. Now, let's get down to the business at hand. Airbnb, it got so big over the last, let's say 2017-ish, 2018. That's when it got on a roll. And everybody and their grandma was making easy money. You could buy a property, turn around and rent it. You had clowns out here talking about subleasing a rental property that's under another person's name, which again, you guys already know. I told you, don't do that. Then you had people out here telling other people, just go buy a new house in any old random neighborhood and you should be good to go. Well, that works for a while until you have a lot of competition. And then they're telling you, well, you got to go buy a jacuzzi. You got to go buy bicycles. You got to go buy electric scooters. You got to upgrade all your stuff because that's why you're not getting the rentals. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have news for you. That is not how you do Airbnb rentals. You need to have your Airbnb rentals in a high demand area. That's the preferred choice straight off the bat. Secondly, because you have foolery out here in these streets where people are out here, renting a house. Next thing you know, they're having 20 people come over, making it like a club atmosphere, and it's in a residential neighborhood. What do you think governments and cities and states are going to do? They're going to start enacting laws. Remember, this is real estate talk here. Remember, your real estate is in a residential zone or not. And if it's in a residential zone, well, throwing parties 2 or 3 times a week in the middle of a residential zone and having 20, 30 cars there, you're going to have problems. You can't get away with it in Beverly Hills. You damn sure ain't going to be able to get away with it too much in a regular city environment as well. So you have these people, police show up, who lives here? No, we're renting on Airbnb. This is enacted. So almost all major cities now have enacted a laws where you're going to have some sort of license or certifications, or you could be exempt. Oh, exempt. How can you be exempt, you say? Well, just what we're talking about here over the last 3 years. You need a condo hotel. That's how you get exempt, because the condo hotel is already zoned for commercial and multiple occupancy use. So we don't have to worry about this. And oh yeah, you can get exempt, by the way, because it's a hotel already, which is already aligned with the appropriate licensing. So this is why Airbnb is changing. And this is why a lot of people are calling it an Airbnb bust. And yes, there is going to be an Airbnb bust. You know why? There's going to be less available units, less available people, because there are people that are hosts that do not take care of their customers. So you lose people from that. And then you have the county and city doing things like in Las Vegas, for instance, Mr. Laverne Penix, Mr. Cool. They have rules in their jurisdiction, and they have rules such as it has to be quiet a certain time. You have to post up rules. They have rules. It's straightforward. I'm not mad at them, because that's part of the problem. They said, hey, after about 10 p.m., we don't want to hear not a peep from your guest. So therefore, Airbnb has to change. It's either you can't offer your services through Airbnb, they have to leave that area, or you have to make the host comply. And fortunately for Airbnb, the city and counties are the ones that's making people comply. So that's a beautiful thing. I'm not mad. And again, you guys want to know why I'm not mad? Because I already knew this was happening, because again, I own property in Whistler, Canada. 3 or 4 years ago, they all of a sudden said, we're banning Airbnbs. It's at the ski resort. It's one of the most high demand ski areas from December 20th till March 30th every year. And it ain't cheap, ladies and gentlemen. 2-bedroom, 2 baths. People are spending $3,500, $4,000 a week for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo. Not even ski in, ski out. My West End property, a studio and a 1-bedroom that's a lock off, I can charge damn near $700 per night for the 1 bedroom, $400 a night for the studio side, and the 2 bedroom could be $1,000 per night. And guess what? Weston charges more. But they woke up one day and said, sorry, no Airbnb rentals, not even if you, so in other words, no Airbnb rentals. So Airbnb had to do something about that, right? So now that minimized what you can rent unless you do it yourself. So other cities, 3-4 years back, like Petaluma, one of my friends lived there, they got a message saying, Eric, what's this? You do Airbnb? I said, yeah. That's what's going to happen. You live in a residential neighborhood. They're going to make you do Airbnb or do registrations. And then they make you jump through hoops. So that eliminates some more hosts. And now people start looking for places like, let's say, a Petaluma. I don't know why, but let's say Petaluma. And all of a sudden, they don't find that many hosts. So now if you have a lower supply and not enough inventory that's going to soothe the people that's coming there, they're saying, well, I might as well just stay at the hotel then, because this isn't in the right area anyhow, and there's only a few places. So again, you have a change coming. So this is all the things that have been happening. And this is why I always said condo, hotel, because you're in a commercial zone and now your life is easier. You could always do Airbnb and you'll probably be exempt. That's how simple this is, ladies and gentlemen. So congratulations to everybody that's in the pre-construction zones. I don't care where you are, because you're going to be in a condo, hotel. At least I hope you bought approved for Airbnb. And a multi-family situation, meaning if you bought in a condo project and they already said you can do Airbnb, that's good. If you bought a condo in a hotel, that's good. You guys know how I feel about this. So those are the reasons why Airbnb is changing. Plus, there's other factors. The other factors are this. Make sure you guys, please smash the like button. This is the No Guru Zone. No courses to sell, nothing to do other than ask your questions if you have any. And again, if you can't get in the chat room tonight, there's a reason. Wealthy Wednesday night live stream is only open to members of the channel. They're the only ones that can be in chat rooms on Wednesday. Come back on Friday at 9:10 p.m. or Mondays at 8:50 p.m. and you can be in the chat room. Now, other extenuating circumstances with Airbnb, as I lose my train of thought again. But anyhow, I have so many things swirling in my head. But Airbnb is not for the faint at heart anymore, because unlike prior to roughly 2020, Airbnb was a standalone product. They weren't on Expedia. They weren't on Booking.com. Neither was VRBO and all these guys. I have a story about Booking.com. I was supposed to be one of the first people on Booking.com, except it was like 6-7 years ago, before they allowed you to have short-term rentals on Booking.com. They nixed the contract because one of the hotel chains bought Booking.com, and they didn't want short-term rentals on the platform at the time. So now you have short-term rentals from all the short-term rental companies on Expedia, on Travelocity, places like that, because they all use the same booking engine. Well, I'm not saying it's Booking.com, but Expedia, Travelocity, TripAdvisor, they use the same thing. So therefore, this is what we're talking about here. All right, I have somebody here talking about they want to do some business. Auto on, incredibly flexible, order management, everything, turn it on, off, customize. Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you for that tidbit. All right. Now, here we go. Because of, again, I'm losing my train of thought too easily these days. I'm getting old, ladies and gentlemen. That must be it. I don't know what's going on. But anyhow, the situation is now, instead of just on the Airbnb platform, they have white labels. So the booking shows up on these booking engines. They are still going to run through Airbnb, but now you understand, instead of the person just being at Airbnb and picking from that selection, Now you're picking from worldwide selection, all the hotels, all the motels, all the short-term rentals who may not even be on Airbnb. They might be on VRBO. They might be on some other mom and pop website that has added their listing to these platforms. So now, if somebody just like you, if you go to Priceline, if you go to Expedia, if you go to TripAdvisor, you start looking for hotels and you see short-term rentals coming up, all of a sudden you're competing directly on the same platform with hotels, which Airbnb didn't have to do before. So now what's going to happen when somebody has a studio or they have suites and somebody looks and says, well, wait a minute, I can get a suite over here with free breakfast and it's going to cost me $250 a night. Or I can stay in this 2-bedroom condo and now I have to go buy groceries and it's going to cost me $200 a night. Now people are saying, well, I'll take the free breakfast and I'll just go to a hotel that I'm comfortable with. Why should I go to somebody's house? So these are factors that you have to consider in your head. So what are you going to do? You're going to make sure that you have high demand location because that's the only thing that's going to save your ass. I'm just going to tell you like it is. You're not going to be able to go out here and just open up any old place and think like, oh yeah, I'm going to be fine all year long. You're not going to be fine all year long. So if you want to play the game, you better get in the game, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's see who else is in the house tonight. Charles is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And he has the icon next to his name. And he says, hi, money people. Uh-oh, cruise on land changed. Yes, Charles, as you know, I can't even go into it, but you know I am. And you know there's going to be a video coming out about all this nonsense. Again, I'm a capitalist. Let's just call it what it is. I am not a socialist. I'm a capitalist. And I don't agree with certain things. Well, we're going to talk about cruise on land here in a second. Now, Airbnb, they have to compete now when people are on booking.com, Travelocity, TripAdvisor, and they're going for things. All of a sudden, they will see the short-term rentals, which was a great thing potentially. But like I said, now you're looking at everything available in the city with regard to commercial hotels, motels, and even suites and what you call those suite stays, extended stay type properties. You're competing. Everybody's on one platform. That is not a good thing. Before, people said, I want to stay in a condo, a villa, sleep on a couch, or whatever the case may be, sleep in a room. I go to Airbnb. Now, people are like, okay, I go to Expedia or booking.com. I get everything, all inclusives, regular hotels, 5-star hotels, or I'll stay in these condos, studios, or 1-bedrooms or 3-bedrooms or homes. That means more competition. You know what that means, ladies and gentlemen? If you don't have high demand, more competition means less rentals. That's what that means. All right. So when we talk about pre-construction properties, we talk about high demand locations. Like when I talked about Lofty Brickell, go see Sophia, loftybrickell.com, ladies and gentlemen, one of the top flight condo hotels. Shouldn't call it a hotel, but it's a condo. They're already approved for Airbnb in downtown Miami in the Brickell district. All right. On the water. But of course, it's expensive. It's Miami. But prices have already went up damn near 50%. But go see Sophia there. And if you're in that high rent district, go see her. Let her know Eric from SSN Nation sent you. All right. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Eric sent you the contract, Eric. Thank you. Exactly. Victor Marrero's in the house. We need to ask Victor about his rental pool. Yes, exactly. And it looks like Johnny on the spot is in the house. Victor Marrero's here. Hello, all. Let's do this is his tagline. And welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And he has the icon next to his name. And by the way, in case you don't know what the reference is that we're talking about, Victor Marrero is one of those people that has purchased at a property in Orlando. It is a 5-star resort, villa, condo, villa, suites, 5-star, akin to a Westin, a Hyatt, a Marriott. These are properties where people, if you get a suite, it could be hundreds of dollars, multiple rooms. So he has a unit. And we're trying to find out, Victor Marrero, tonight. Do you have, okay, actually, Victor Marrero is in the rental pool. The question is, do you know what happens if you're not in the rental pool? So what I'm saying is, number one, can a person that has, let's just say, the same unit as you, or for that matter, any unit, can they charge whatever they want? Or does, well, again, I don't know how they're going to do this, but can they dictate to you how much you can charge rent for if you're not in the rental pool and you're just a condo or cottage owner and or villa owner, and you say, hey, I'm going to rent it out. I don't want to be in the rental pool. Can you rent it for whatever you want? That's the first thing. And that's an important thing, actually. Eric just joined. I missed the initial discussion. What's going on with Cruise on Land? Victor Marrero, we haven't gotten into the Cruise on Land yet. You actually came in at the perfect timing. We haven't talked about that. I was talking about Airbnb. And if you came in on the last part, I was talking about how Airbnb, VRBO, and all of them are now on Expedia, TripAdvisor, Priceline, and they show up for short-term rentals. And I said, for some properties, this is not a good thing, because now instead of you going to Airbnb and all you have is the Airbnb host that you're against, now all of a sudden you're against that whole list that pops up that says, here's this hotel, here is this condo or another house. Everybody is in one location. When you have everybody in one location, now it's open to the demand for the area. Less demand, lower prices. Now you guys have to understand why I always said location, 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 amenities, 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 high demand, high demand, high demand. You need high traffic all year long if you can get it. It's hard to get sometimes, but if you can find locations that's all year long, like Orlando, like in Anaheim, LA, Southern California, Southeast Florida, now you're cooking, right? Okay, so we'll get into it shortly, Victor Marrero. Hey, boss, Vanessa Comagate, hello to you too. Welcome to the Wealthy Wednesday Night live stream, the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday Night live stream. And she has the icon next to her name. And in these parts, she's known as Seamless Genius here. That's right. She was on the Shark Tank. I gotta say this 2 days in a row. Shark Tank, ladies and gentlemen. She just didn't get on TV. She got up there, did her thing. They didn't air it on TV, though, apparently. So we need that tape, Mark Burnett. I already know what's going to happen again. We need that tape, Mark Burnett. All right. Hey, boss and SSN fam, I got the notification. Thank you so much for letting me know about that. And I want to give a special shout out. Dara bought at Sabana. Congratulations. Another person has bought inside Vista Cana, and one hell of a deal. And yes, it's priced right. And congratulations. You're with George, Tony. The owners live there. You got the new, so you know things are going to be right at Sabana Equestrian Residences and Condo Project. Wow. Victor Marrero, some of my neighbors at Margaritaville aren't part of the rental program and rent on their own. They can charge any amount. However, their renters don't have access to the amenities. This is very, very good information. How do they block them from using the amenities, and what are you calling amenities? That's the question. So what do you mean they can't? What amenities are you referring to? So they can go to the pool, or hold on, Victor Marrero, let's just start this from scratch. If your neighbors rent, do the people have to check in at the front desk, or can your neighbors just give them an electronic lock code so they can just go into the unit? That's one of the first questions. Then if they have to check in, does that mean they get a bracelet? That's the next question. But the first part of the question was, yes, they can rent for whatever they want. They're not capped by the rental pool guys, management, right? So that is the major thing. That is very, very major. So let's see what else we got going on. I'm trying to think that if we go by that first thing, let me know if everybody has to check in whether they rent or in the rental pool or not, because that's going to be key to this whole thing as well. Now, I want to ask you something else. Do they have right of first refusal if you decided to sell your unit? I need to know that as well, Victor Morel, if you even know. Most people don't even know until they get ready to sell it. And all of a sudden they're selling it and they're finding out, hey, you got to go through the HOA. It does happen. I mean, there are places that, I mean, especially in Florida, they have a lot of places that say, hey, oh, well, Florida has other things too. You got to be 55 and over in a lot of places as well. So things change. So Vanessa Comagate says, what happened to cruise on land? Yeah, it's going to be booted out if things are true. I have to see a contract just to confirm. But it looks like there's some changes, or, well, there's some things in their contracts that apparently aren't going to be good. So I'm going to find out about it soon. But we haven't talked about it yet, Vanessa Comagate. We're checking on some things because Victor Marrero is the only one here that's in a rental pool that I think, unless there's another Airbnb person that's in a rental pool, you can answer as well. I'm not in any rental pool. And there's a reason I'm not in rental pools because of, I'll tell you guys, in fact, the reason why I'm not in a rental pool is it's very simple. In my areas, what happens is, you guys already know, I do like timeshare, condo, hotels. So generally in the rental pool, we only send in like a week or two. We don't have like months, but we have a week or 2 weeks. And so you get a week or 2 weeks like in prime time. So I'll give you a perfect example. A week in March, Daytona Bike Week. All right. Daytona Bike Week, actually, people come in on Wednesday. They generally leave on Sunday. All right. So Wednesday through Sunday is prime time. But let's say that you have a Sunday to Sunday week. So the first 3 nights, no rent. All right. The last 4 nights, you could have rent, but they're taking out 30% of the rent, and you can't dictate to them what the rental price is. So now they rent 4 nights. They cut you a check for $600. This happened to me when I attempted. I'm looking at them like, okay, you guys know I charge like $349 per night. So here I get a check for $600, and I'm used to getting a check for $1,400. Huge difference. That's one of my things. There's been others that happened as well when I did Lake Tahoe during Christmas or New Year's. I can't even remember. Christmas or New Year's. Snow on the ground. 100% booked. Can't reserve online. Can't do anything. All right. I'm thinking I'm going to have a nice check. They charge on the rental, I think it was $500 per night, 7 nights, $3,500. You're thinking 30% off, $2,100. Oh, them too. Under $1,000 check. And they said, oh, I'm sorry, Eric. We didn't rent all of the nights. We could only rent like 3 nights, but you know, people were asking for 4 nights, 5 nights. And since you didn't have it, we gave it to somebody else. So therefore, I'm like, it was 110% booked. What are you talking about? So again, I've never, ever been in rental pools ever since, because the 3 times I've done it, it's all been messy. So I never do that. So I have no problem with the rental pool, but I do have a problem if they tell me I have to rent. And well, nobody's ever done that, quite frankly. So I can't even say that that's never happened. All right. So nothing happened, but here is Kyle. TMG is in the house with the icon. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream, and has the member icon. I humbly appreciate that. Thank you so much, Kyle, for becoming a member of the channel, the newest member. And now TMG, did you get that unit? I think you did, right? You're another member in the Punta Cana area. Let me make sure, because there's another person that has similar name with you. So I just want to make sure. I think you got Larimar, right? If I'm mistaken. Run my tape, Mark. Run my tape, Mark. Exactly. Exactly. Victor Morrell says, when you're in a rental pool, all bookings are equally distributed amongst all owners. However, a management company manages that. Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly right. But the thing is, not everybody stays a certain amount of days. Every booking is different. So again, what used to happen to me was they would say, well, a person, most people were looking for 3 or 4 nights, and all you had was these 2 nights or 3 nights, and they needed more nights. So we couldn't slot them in. So even though we were full, we actually were full on certain nights, but couldn't check in or check out on certain days. So it falls through the cracks. So again, I was just like, okay, this is not working for me. I can do it on my own, and I don't even need you guys to take out the 30% either. It was crazy. Or 35%, I think it was as well. But nonetheless, okay. Victor Morrell says, I can tell you, if you have a unique unit, renters will ask for your unit over and over, and the management company typically honors that. It's all about money. Exactly, Victor Morrell. Exactly. Because it's an ecosystem. The more people you have on the premises, the more people that's going to spend money on the premises. Why am I going to care if I'm the management company and nobody's in the rental pool? Why would I care how much they're going to charge? I want people in the seats. So if somebody's charging, I don't care if they're charging $100 less than me per night. So what? That's one person. I'm still going to be having an advantage because I'm going to be on all the platforms. That's what management companies do. A person generally won't be on 5, 6 platforms. All right. They might be on Airbnb, VRBO, but they're not going to be on Vacasa, Evolve, and all these other ones. So that's what generally happens. All right. So all I'm saying is that's exactly what should happen. Victor Morrell, answer me this as well. What happens if you want to sell your cottage? Can you just sell it to anybody? Or do you have to go through the HOA or whatever? All right. You guys might be getting hints of where this is going. When you're in a rental pool, all bookings are equally distributed. Yes. Okay. Unit over. Exactly, Victor Morrell. See, this is exactly right. Just like your neighbors will say, I'm pretty sure some of your neighbors have their units are nice, furnished. They have the amenities inside and everything's nice. They're probably getting return visitors just from their booking sites, and they don't have to pay the whatever the management fee is. Of course, they have to run it, have housekeeping, and do all this. But the fact of the matter is, they could be doing a lower rate or a higher rate, but it should not matter to the management company who's doing individual rentals because they're getting paid 30%. They're getting fees for doing their job. Why are they going to try and dictate as an HOA, hey, guys, you got to stay within 10% of my price? That's craziness to me. All right. But yeah, that's the way I look at it myself. You're a free agent and not everybody bought at the same price. So here we are with Victor Morrell buying at pre-construction prices. If somebody comes in right now and he put his cottage up for sale by rights, it could be a million, over $1 million by rights, easily close to $2 million. If he sold it based on revenue and profits and loss, he would be close to almost 2 mil. So what are we talking about here? Are these guys all of us? So somebody's going to buy it for 2 mil. And now in order for them to earn, let's just say 1%, they would have to generate $200,000, or I'm sorry, $20,000. If they want to earn 10%, now we're at $200,000. Okay, that's cool. But the point is, they're probably not going to want to rent at a low price. They're trying to get their return on their investment. So now the rental prices are going to come up. So how am I going to match what Victor Morrell can rent his unit for, or the rental pool is going to rent for, when he sold it to me for a much higher price. I can live with making $200,000, $250,000 a year on a $2 million project. But now I can't just charge people 400 a night, 500 a night, 600 a night. I might have to charge more. So that's all I'm saying. So anyhow, nobody knows yet. So TMG or Kyle, wait, there's another Kyle with an icon, but the member thing is gone. But it's all right. Thank you for being a member. All right. See, Eric, look what Victor Morel says about rental pool. Do you like it? Do you have any problem with it, Victor? George's Charles, he didn't say anything about a rental pool. That's how it works. A rental pool works fine. What I'm getting at is the rental pool doesn't tell the owners that are not in the rental pool what they can rent for. That's the problem. So just to clear this up for what he's referring to, in the contract, apparently, I haven't seen it yet. I've been trying to get it. The rental pool for cruise on land, they apparently can tell you how much to rent your unit for. You have to rent for whatever they're renting the units for, calling it fair competition, or you can go like 10% below what they're renting it for. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. I don't know how they're going to enforce this, but that means things are going to be closed off, like an all-inclusive place. So I have to check in, apparently. Everybody's going to have to check in because you're not going to be able to bypass, because they're going to have to give you some bracelet or some identifier that you're going to have on you in order for them to know if you're allowed in certain areas or not. I don't know how this is going to work, but Victor Morel can actually shed some light on this, because he said if you're not in the rental pool and you rent your unit, apparently some of the amenities are not available. So again, that's the more interesting thing that I want to know about. And I already suspect what's going to happen. And here we are. Exactly. Yes, every renter that checks in at the main Margaritaville lobby, they get a wristband just like you get at Hard Rock. The renter swipes at the gym, spa, main pools, and bars. Now, if you, Victor Morel, if you check in, and then, of course, they know by unit number that you're not in the rental program, what happens? Are they not allowed to go to the gym, the spa, the main pool? Well, the spa, you got to pay, but not allowed to go to the gym. Well, you should be able to go to pools and bars. So what can't you go to, or what can the renters not use that are not in the rental pool? That's the $1 million question. All right. So let's see. George's Charles, Victor Morel, what about people who are not in the rental pool? How much can they charge versus others in the rental pool? That's what he was saying. The people not in the rental pool can charge whatever they want. In other words, the place he has is not dictating how much the rents are. And they're not telling them you got to rent the same as our guys in the rental pool. Nobody's going to know that. They have specials sometime. That's what I don't understand. They're going to have specials. And now you're asking an owner to call up or look up every time they want to rent a day, a night, a week, or whatever dates they have. They're going to have to find out what the resort is charging. That's crazy to me. I'm not going to be looking up what the resort is charging for every day my unit's available. How am I supposed to know that? And also there's dynamic pricing in play, because some people will say this is a Holy Week. So since it's Holy Week, what's going to happen is people are going to say, okay, it's 3 or 2 days to the weekend. I'm going to have to charge $199 per night because I'm in the rental pool. But my unit's not renting because I'm not in the rental pool. So maybe I want to charge $125 a night just to see if I can get some rentals starting tonight or the next day and the next day and the next day for the next 4, 5, 6 days. But you're not going to be able to do that at Cruise on Land. Apparently, again, you can only do 10%, and they're dictating you own a condo, or do you? And they're telling you have to rent for the same amount as them or up to 10% less. I don't know how they're going to track it, quite frankly, but Victor Morel, they're going to do the same thing. They're going to make people all check in, and that means they're going to be able to look it up and find out if you have the amenities. All right, rental pools are good, but if you have a unique unit, for example, close to the pools and amenities, renters will ask for that unit. Exactly. That's exactly right, Victor Morrell. The management companies don't share that info. Exactly, Victor Morrell. See, Victor Morrell's been renting a long time, just like me. We know what happens when people come into places. First things first, where's the pool? Where's my unit? That is some things. Can I, if they have kids with them, hey, I need a unit that can see the pool, because my kids are 14, 13, whatever. I let them go out there. I want to be able to see them from the balcony or see them from my room. That is a thing. And if there's any other activities like water slides, which there are, where at his project, people will say, how close can I get to the water slides? How close can I get to the putting green or mini golf? How close can I get? All these things come into play. So, and also what comes into play is this. The rental pool will also may charge a little more depending on position in a building. You as an independent renter, you're going to charge more. If your unit is close to an amenity, you're going to charge more. These are the nuances that happen. And I don't want to be caught up into a situation where the person's telling me, hey, Eric, you got to charge $199 per night because that's what we're charging. I'm going to be like, no, I'm charging $250 a night because I'm right by the pool. Or I got some other view. Like I was telling someone earlier, George's, I was talking to him earlier, and I said, hey, at Orange Lake in Orlando, people, okay, Disney has fireworks at night. People are back home at Orange Lake Resort, which is right next to Disney. If you're in a certain part of Orange Lake Resort, you can actually see the fireworks. People call up and say, hey, does the unit have fireworks? I say, yes. I charge $50 more for being in this section of the condos per night because that's one of the features. Everybody's asking, not everybody. A lot of people ask, hey, can we see the fireworks from our patio or balcony? Can we see the fireworks from sitting in this section in the resort? Yes, they pay more. So if the rental company is just charging regular old rates for everything around there, it's not going to happen. So all I'm saying, from my perspective, I don't want anybody telling me I got to rent at a certain price. And that's what's going on at Cruise on Land, apparently. Again, I'm going to make a video after I reconfirm everything, because this is getting very, very interesting. And if any of this stuff is actually pans out and is true, and actually it's going to be, because it's actually from a lawyer as well. So I'm pretty sure all of it, but I always like to get my eyeballs on it just to make sure. And they could have changed their contracts as well. So we're going to find out about all of this, and I'll drop a video about it. But those are no-go zones. There's other things too. So how about this, Victor Morrell? Let me know something. If you sell your unit, will you have to get? Do they get right of first refusal? So let's go. If you aren't on the rental pool, you can charge anything you want. Exactly. However, be careful, because they can ask other renters and find out you overcharge them. Victor Marrero, yes, that's a thing, but I don't mind that. But the thing is this. So generally, when I do rentals, it is based on what the hotel charges. That's what it's based on. But then if it's high demand time, I don't really care what the hotel's charging. So I'll give you an example. There's a Bottle Rock festival, music festival in Napa. I don't really care. I have a 2-bedroom at Vino Bello. You think I care if these guys are charging $700 a night, $800 a night, $900 a night? No. You know why? Because it's booked. The only way you can get in is the few units that owners have that's left. So I know this. So I can charge $1,000, $995 per night. That's all that's left. I don't really care what the hotel charges. This is all I'm trying to get you guys to understand. So if the hotel dictates to me, hey, Eric, we're only charging $799 per night, I'm like, hey, man, I'm missing out on money. That ain't cool. And nor would I be doing business with them anymore either. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, overcharge happens, Victor Morrell. You don't you have it in the rental pool. So here's what happens. Everybody that's in the rental pool doesn't know how the customer comes into the fold. When you go to a website, there are things such as when you rent for a week, you can get a discount. There's things that you see on websites that says if you prepay, you get a 10 or 15 or 20% discount. Or it's seasonal, it's fall special sales or spring special sales, and we're taking off 20% just for this few days. Those are going into rental pools. So generally, quite a few people, the price will vary. So that's not really a bad thing. It's just going to come up. People generally are sitting in the jacuzzis at the pools and they're like, yeah, I had to spend like $4,000. And then people are like, how long you staying? They say, let's just say 7 days. And then they're like, what? I'm staying 7 days and I just paid like $2,800. That's a thing. It always happens because depending on when you booked and what date you booked, and if there was specials, if you booked a year in advance, 9 months, the prices can change. So that's not really what I'm most concerned about. That's a thing that happens all the time. People generally, if you had 10 people in a pool and you asked them all how much they paid per night, they would all have generally, I'd say more than half is going to have a different number. So that I'm not really too much worried about. It doesn't come up that often. But again, that's why you have to make sure your unit is one of the best. And whatever you're doing, you have to make sure that the service, you go above and beyond. This is why Victor Marrero, myself, and a few others always said, leave gift basket, leave gift card, leave something special. But when upon arrival, if you know it's a birthday, then make sure they get something on arrival where that's related to their birthday, anniversary, anything like that. That is special. And quite frankly, even if something goes wrong or something, they find out they paid a little more, they feel fine because they got special treatment. That's what you want your guests to feel, special. All right. So just keep that in mind. Now, this is most important here. If I sell my cottage, I am not selling a home. I am selling a business. Exactly. The figure will need to be way up there for me to let go on that income. Exactly, Victor Marrero. But the question is, does the company, well, I might as well just tell everybody, he's at Margaritaville, Orlando Cottage. Does Margaritaville have the right of first refusal for who you sell it to? This is another crux. Cruise on Land has a right of first refusal when you sell your condo. That's not cool either because they can block. So first of all, they can buy the condo and not let the person buy it. And second off, they have to approve the buyer and make sure they meet their requirements. Okay. Capitalism, ladies and gentlemen, I don't need you trying to do first right of refusal, and I don't need you trying to tell me that you can't sell or I can't sell to somebody because you're not going to approve them. And by you saying I can't sell to that person, that actually benefits you. Does not benefit me. You're going to turn it into, I want to make sure this person's qualified, but you damn skippy, they're going to be qualified because they had to qualify for either a loan or they paid full cash. What are you talking about here? Okay, I start thinking nefariously when people act a certain way. So anyhow, don't let me get upset, ladies and gentlemen, because it's capitalist society. This stuff messes with your money potentially. I'm not saying this is all bad. All I'm saying is I don't want to be under anything like that because you're buying a condo. I'm not buying into some sort of, for the lack of a better word, 2 months ago, somebody on here, when we were talking about Cruise on Land, somebody said, oh, you're buying a timeshare at Cruise on Land. And I was like, what? Timeshare? What are you talking about? This isn't a timeshare. Well, the way they're acting, I'm kind of thinking I'm paying for a condo, but they have all the rules. I can't sell to whoever I want. I can't rent and charge whatever I want. What else do we have to deal with here? And now I'm having to deal with $65 per month. Actually, I was wrong. It ends up being $65 per room, apparently. So if you have a 2-bedroom, it's going to cost you $130 a month for people to use the amenities. Now, the question is, what amenities are they talking about? But now you have to pay HOA plus which is $2 a square foot or square meter, plus, so if you have 100 square meter place, you have to pay $200 HOA, and then you're going to pay $130 if you had a 2-bedroom per month. So your guests can use the amenities. So keep that in mind as well. Yeah, Victor Morel, exactly. Like I said, you'd be dealing with the $2 million evaluation, maybe even higher. So, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So all I'm trying to say is, do you have to go to Margaritaville and go, hey, I want to sell to this guy for $2 million? And they have right of first refusal. And they could say, they could easily say, yeah. They could say no. And then you go to the buyer and be like, hey, man, you got to apply to these guys. And then they go, oh, I'm sorry, doesn't meet our criteria, so you can't sell to the buyer. What the? I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a capitalist. I don't like somebody telling me what I can and can't do with something that I bought. All right. I'm moving into an HOA, but that means we're dealing with the extremities, the outside of the units, the upkeep and maintenance of the project. We're going to try and make sure that we don't have, junk cars parked in the property. We're going to make sure that people aren't working on their cars in the property, standard stuff. What we're not going to do is tell people what they can rent for and what they can sell for, and maybe who can move in here. Now that I'm not hanging. All right. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. All right. That Victor Morel sounds like the incentives to be in the rental pool. It depends. Depends. What's happening is, if an owner has a unit by the pool, he has zero incentive to be in there if he's renting it out at a high clip, because he gets to charge more or whatever he wants. So, and he doesn't have to pay the 30%. He doesn't have to pay the 30% either, or 35%. So here's what I'm trying to say. When somebody rents, let's say, okay, at Margaritaville, the cottages could be $500 per night. Okay. Or, okay, I'll use a different number. We'll go higher. We'll go $600 per night. If I have to pay 30% for management, that's okay. That's $180. That brings it down to $420 net, plus other fees like transaction fees and all this. So I'm going to net like $400, maybe $395, somewhere in there. The other person who doesn't be a part of the management could say, he's at the pool, I'm going to charge $550 a night. So what if I don't get the amenities, as long as I can go to the pool? But so what if I don't get the rest of the amenities? This is what I wanted. I wanted to be by the pool, so I'm going to pay the $500, $550, and I have no management fee. So now I get more money. That's all I'm saying. But under the cruise on land rules, I would have to charge $540 and up anyhow. So I can never charge below $540. That's the problem. And I don't know about charging more, which is another issue altogether, but I think they'll allow you to charge more. But that's what we're trying to get at here. So he's been doing this a while. If the owner is renting directly to the customer via Airbnb, those renters will not have access to any of the amenities. These customers only rent the cottage because they are close to Disney. Okay. Victor Morel, this is good news. Okay. So are you, wait, hold on. Victor Morel, are you saying they can't even go to the pool? Is that what you're saying? Off limits to the pool area, off limits to the Sunset Walk? What are we talking about here? That's pretty wild. Now you have me curious. You have me real curious. Do you know how much they're renting for? The non-rental pool owners. Are they doing $350 a night, $450 a night, $500 a night? What are they doing? All right, Eric, sounds like based on Don, Victor, this idea, they try to incentivize the rental pool. Okay, but here's the thing. The non-rental pool owners can rent for whatever they want first. So therefore, even if they don't get the amenities, it doesn't matter because they're telling their people they have no amenities. And they don't have to rent exactly the same price as Margaritaville does. So they're not telling them that they have to rent at up to 10%. So if they're renting for $600 a night, they're not telling them they have to rent for $540 or higher. So the person can rent whatever they want, like it should be. That's what I'm referring to. All right. Let's see here. We're going to find out. This is a hot topic with me. This is one of the reasons why timeshares, the timeshare hotels, this is why they try to block owners from renting. They're doing the same thing as Cruise on Land. Blue Green just sent out a letter to all owners and said, no, you can't rent anymore. Just like that last week. All the people are like, wait a minute, I got all these points. They told me at the sales that that's how you pay your fees if you're not going on your trip. Now all of a sudden they're talking you can't rent anymore. Right. That's a problem. Sure, they can be in the rental pool, but the rental pool charges less during prime time hours, prime time nights. That's the problem. So when we talk about New Orleans and it's Mardi Gras, 2 weekends, you have the condo hotel, timeshare condo hotel. You have these guys charging like, I don't know, $250 a night, $260 a night. But guess what? It's full. So that 1-bedroom unit that they charge $250, $275 or whatever, not me. I'm charging $350 for the 1-bedroom that sleeps 4. So this idea that I have to deal with, you can only charge what we charge. I'm like, I'm not down with none of that. Kyle, congratulations, Kyle. Again, here is a winner, ladies and gentlemen. He bought T2 702. So that's a 1-bedroom. That means 702. That means he paid, let's see, he's in Tower 2. He's paid, wait, is that 112, Kyle? 112K. I think that's what he paid, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get into some of this because this is a hot topic. This is what happened at Cruise on Land. The 2 topics I'm talking about. Those are just 2 of the topics. There's more. That's the thing. There's more. The inflation rate, 2.5% IDV. It appeared that the 2.5% was based on if it moved 2.5%, then that would be the inflation. So in other words, you bought something for 100,000 over the next 2 years before it's built. All of a sudden it goes up 2.5 and then it might go to 3.5 or 4.5%. You're going to be covered. Well, yeah, you're covered. All right. But apparently if the first 2.5 is covered, after that, there's no cap. And what I mean by no cap is if they deem inflation is 5% or 10%, or like what happened in 2020, where 30% increase on material costs, you could potentially find yourself in a CRISPR situation. Apparently, again, I got to get with the lawyer once I have contract situations, but a lawyer is actually looking at it and giving back responses such as this, saying you're not covered. They can charge whatever they want. Poison pill like, almost. In fact, it is a poison pill if that's the case. Because now, 2 years from now, you guys realize how much it's going to be worth. Whatever you pay for now, it's probably going to be double, at least, what they'll be selling them for. So imagine if somebody says, hey, you bought this thing for $150,000, but now we want $225,000, and you have to pay the difference. That would be a rude awakening. So we have to be careful of that as well. So we're going to find out if that's the case as well. Okay, so congratulations in 702. Larimar rental pool only. No, you don't have to be in the rental pool. We're talking about Cruise on Land. Larimar doesn't have this crazy nonsense. First off, inflation-wise, we don't have to worry about it. In their contract, it says whatever price you buy it at, that's what it is. There is no provision for any deviation. That's in stone. There is nothing in there talking about you have to do anything with the rental pool so far. Now, here's the question. When somebody does it, does that mean somebody else is going to copy them? I don't think so. Because logistically, it's going to be a nightmare, in my opinion. Because, again, that would indicate we're talking about a hotel setup, meaning everybody that comes to the property, like Victor Morel's talking about, everybody's going to have to check in, and they're going to have to, there won't be any of this, I own my own condo, I'm going to have an electronic lock. I'll put your name at the front counter or at the front desk or at the security gate. You come in and you go to my unit 105 or 210 or whatever, and here's the code to get in. You're going to be there and all that. No, they're going to have to check in at the front desk. They're going to have to get bands. Somebody's going to have a band that's going to allow them the amenities or not. I don't know what their rules are at Cruise on Land yet. So they're going to have some identifier. That's in stone. And it's going to be a travesty if all of a sudden it turns into being you either, like Margaritaville, you either have a band or you don't. Simple. That means you have no amenities versus amenities. And that also means the rental pool is going to be special because now it's 25%. And that's the only way you can include all of the amenities. And $65 per room. Here's another problem. There's no cap. So in other words, you guys know everything goes up. Just like HOAs are going to go up. They're saying $65 per room right now. They're saying HOAs are $2 a square meter right now. When this is built, who knows what the numbers will be at any project. But the fact of the matter is that $65 for the amenities, that could change at any whim. So they could say, you know what, it's going to be $100 per room. So now give us your HOA fees, give us your money for the amenities. And oh, by the way, you're in the rental pool. Victor Marrero, here goes another one. If you sign up for your rental pool, how long is your contract? And if you want to get out of your contract, can you before your 1 year or 2 years? Cruise on Land, when you sign in the rental pool, it's for 2 years. They have no provision. If you want to get out, you can't get out. So you're sitting there going, hey, I don't like this 30% rental occupancy rate. I think I want to get out. According to what people are saying, again, I'm going to have to verify. I'll doubly verify. But what they're saying is that you can't get out. 2 freaking years. Who knows what's going to happen when the first phase comes and there's hardly any amenities there. We don't know if you're going to be able to get 20%, 40%, 50%, 60%, 80% occupancy. So if people aren't getting rentals, they would want to back out. It's only natural. So again, that's another thing. 2-year contract, can't back out once you're in. This is getting crazy. So anyhow, Victor Morrell, you're the only person that's in a rental pool here, apparently. But Kyle, no, we're not talking about. Larimar does have a rental pool. And no, it's not only. And yes, they allow Airbnb, VRBO, and all the other rental companies. In fact, you can have your own management company at Larimar. All right? That's the way it is right now. There's no problems. At George's Charles, it all depends on who's managing the pool. Is this a company doing this? Victor Morrell, he might have already answered because I didn't see it, but it's supposedly Cruise on Land, so I guess it's some sort of company. But Cruise on Land is apparently managing all the rentals. That's what I'm saying. If you're in the rental pool, they're managing it, which means their incentive is one hell of an incentive. Cruise on Land is managing it. Only people in the rental pool can get the fully furnished package, and those non in the rental pool can only charge plus or minus 10%. Victor Amaro, Eric does not like it. I do because I think we will all make money. I see 75% or more occupancy. All right, well, that's the thing. Is this a rental pool managed like a hotel? If so, you want that so you can get same-day bookings like a hotel. If the company is not transparent, you won't know if bookings are distributed equally. See, therein lies the problem. How do you find out if you're transparent? I'm going to tell you right now, in my experiences with the condo hotel timeshare situation, they weren't transparent. You don't have any information. You just have to take them at their word. They're like, oh yeah, we only rented out 2 of your nights. Oh, yeah, we only rented out 5 of your nights. You have to take their word. There's no way to check, which who knows? Maybe they have a way, but I'm not liking it. Those not in the rental pool don't have access to the amenities. Eric, isn't that a big deal? Yes, yes, except this is what I'm referring to. They made a choice. So what I'm getting at is this. At Margaritaville, Victor Marrero is in the rental pool. Victor Marrero can tell all his neighbors, hey guys, I get like 80%, 80 to 85% occupancy all year round. You should be in the rental pool. And they say, I don't want to be in the rental pool. That's their choice. And also their choice is what they can charge. They could be charging more, they could be charging less. But the fact of the matter is they're not paying the rental pool 30% or 25%, whatever it ends up being. So they can automatically charge 25% less and still be equal. So now you start thinking if Victor Marrero's rental pool is charging people $600 a night, now I can charge $450. I think I'm going to be good. And just so you guys know, some of those people that would be his neighbors bought these units fully furnished for $300,000. Just so you know. So they can go below the 25. They don't have to stay in the 10% range. So now you have Victor Marrero's and their units, and they're charging, let's say, $550 a night. Now the other person not in the rental pool says, well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have amenities, but we're just going to charge you $350 a night. Cruise on land, you can't do that. So that locks you. Over there, people are looking online and they can see, oh, yeah, it costs $550, $600 a night to stay in a 2 or 3 bedroom cottage. And this guy's only charging me $350, $375. Hell yeah, I'm going to stay over at $375. Who cares about the amenities? We're going to Disney. We're going to SeaWorld. We'll just go to the water park over here. If that's the case, I find it very fascinating that you can't use any of the pools or no, I don't know what you mean, the amenities. I need clarification on this. I know you said amenities, but what amenities can't they use? Because I would think the pool would be open unless the cottages are outside the gates. But if you can't use amenities, you will have to rent less. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. But they're not locked in 10%. That's what I'm trying to. So again, I gave you the example already. 550 could be the rental pool number, but I can rent for 350. I only bought the place for 300, fully furnished. I'm good at 350 a night. I'm good at $2,100 a week. I'm very good because I'm going to end up with probably 1,500 of it because I'm not paying 25 or 30%. So I'm good. And if I can do 60%, meaning 18 room nights, you can start doing the math. 18 times 300, you start going, oh, wait, okay. We start 18 times 300 is all right. Right? 5,600 or whatever, 5,400. So we can live with that. It's not what Victor Marrero pool money might be, but $5,000, $60,000 a year on a $300,000 rent. That's 20% return on my money. We can live with that. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm referring to, because that would be the change. That's what I'm referring to. So if I'm not in the rental pool at Cruise on Land and they're telling me I have to charge $495 because that's 10% less, $500 basically is the lowest I can go. Well, hell no. If I have no amenities and Victor Marrero's charging $550 and the other guy and I'm charging $495 with no amenities, you can rest assured people are going to pay the extra $50 per night. And that's what Cruise on Land is making everybody that's not in the rental pool, which actually is going to be building 1 and building 3 because I can't remember which buildings. Whatever buildings, it's either 1 and 3 or 2 and 4 One of those are not fully furnished. 1 and 3 could be fully furnished. Then that means 2 and 4 is unfurnished. So everybody in building 2 and 4 can't be in the rental pool because they didn't get a furniture package. Unless, of course, they bought the furniture package, then they would be able to be eligible for the rental pool. But that's what Cruise on Land's doing. That's major to me. Victor Moreau, yes, exactly like a hotel. Yes, that's it. No, Margaritaville don't have the power over me. It's my home. Exactly. I can sell it to anyone at any price or rent it myself. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. But Cruise on Land has a right of first refusal. That's the crazy part. So let me give you guys an example. This is an ecosystem. So let me just start this right off. I don't like it because I think nefariously straight off the top. I'm spending my hard-earned money for a condo that I thought I owned. So now I'm thinking I don't want to be in the rental pool. This place is going to be awesome. I'm just going to pay the $65 per room per month plus my HOAs. I think I'll be fine. These guys go, oh, you know what? We're going to charge $250 a night. And we just want to tell you, you can't charge no less than 10%. So you have to charge $225 or more. So now the guy that's going to charge $225 says to the people, I'm sorry, you don't have amenities. And of course, the guys in the rental, they're going to go with a guy, pay $25 more per night. That's crazy. For the rental pool, it works great. But again, that's the company. They're getting more renters to stay in the rental pool versus outside the rental pool. So that 25% that they're charging, they get more of that. Nefarious. I'm paying HOA fees. Everybody in here is paying HOA fees. So why aren't we getting able to, why are we separated? So that's the first thing with me. So now that we have that out the way, that now means the people that are not in the rental pool are at a disadvantage for renting because 10% is not that big of a stretch. So in other words, if they're charging $250 and you're charging $150 per night, now it makes sense. People would be like, okay, I'm going to stay here. I know I'm not going to get a wristband to use the amenities. But now you're putting the people that own a condo, own in quotes, because you don't own at Cruise on Land, as far as I'm concerned, because they're dictating everything that I do. So now they're making sure that they get that 25% on 1,000 units or 500 units or 300 units, that adds up. So they're actually feeding their own rental program, which they should not be doing. And now when you try to sell it because you're unhappy with the situation, they're going off. Nah, you got right of first refusal. And if they say no, then now they're sitting there telling you your buyer isn't approved. So now what? Their whole ecosystem has you locked down. I'm not liking it. That's all I can say. I'm extremely not liking it. And exactly, I can sell it to anyone, any price, anytime. So again, we're into this why Cruise on Land is no longer #1 project anymore. And once again, Larimar doesn't do none of this. In fact, no project does this so far that I know of that has come out in the last 3 years that we've talked about. Nobody. All right, George's Charles. Eric, seems to me without amenities, how can someone in the rental pool try to charge more than others who have access to the amenities? No, you probably can't. You can't charge more. It seems to me a way to control they don't charge more. No, it's not to control a way they can charge more. It's controlling more people are going to rent in the rental pool. A 10% difference in price. If you walked into any place and they said, okay, you can spend $125 a night, you have free breakfast, have all full use of all the amenities, and or you can pay $112.50 and have no use of the amenities, 100% of the people are going to pay the extra $12 per night. Why wouldn't you? So now the person that's there, that's in your complex, the non-rental pool owner, misses out on rents. which ultimately you start thinking deeper. Ultimately, it starts being, wait a minute, I'm paying HOA fees. I don't really live there. I think I need to sell the place, or I need to stop paying HOA fees because I don't have renters renting my place, which is the timeshare problem. People stop paying maintenance fees. Now they have to find new buyers. So now they have to give gift cards. They have to give people shows. They have to give them tickets. They got to give them free trips just to get people to come in. And then they pressure you for 2 or 3 hours to buy something that's overpriced because they've lost 1,000 people not paying their maintenance fees because they can never find or never get a reservation. Same situation ultimately is going to come out in the wash because it's not a capitalist system. It's a closed loop. And you're controlling the rental prices. You might as well just tell people they can't rent who's never not in the rental pool. And then just tell them, hey, you're going to have to pay extra to use the amenities. I'm like, this is kind of funny. This is craziness. When you think about it, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So that means that they're going to be actually out here selling units themselves, which they should be doing. But just like the guy said 2 months ago, this sounds like a timeshare to me. So they set up their model. It's going to be probably set up in the next week or 2 or 3. And now they're going to have a sales center. The sales center, people are going to come in there and they're going to be selling them. They're going to have to, but are they going to tell them that, hey, if you're a non-owner, like for instance, we have somebody here that bought the $54,000 studio unit. They're thinking that they're going to charge, I don't know, whatever they're going to charge, $50 a night. I don't know. Now come to find out that they're going to have to make choices. Are you going to be in the rental pool or not? That's going to be a question. And if they charge for a studio $65 a night, you're going to have to charge $59 or more. So I don't know if that's the plan. And you're going to still have to pay that extra $65 for amenities if you want your guests to use the unit. But again, now you almost like, if you're going to be a non-rental pool owner, you're going to rent. I mean, you're going to pay for the amenities. You have no choice now because 10% is not going to move the needle one way or the other. That's all I'm saying. You can't charge more without amenities. But again, you can charge more without amenities if you said, so Victor Marrero brought it up. When he said people ask for being by the pool. I'm going to tell you, this is the thing at Palm Beach Shores. It's on the water. But people ask, is the unit, can you see the pool? Because if you have a unit on the other side of the building, you're looking at a waterway or something. That's a thing. And just like the hotel charges more for pool views and ocean views and garden views, there's different rates. You guys can go on any website and look at the hotels. They charge different prices depending on your view. So if you're not in the rental pool, you best believe I can charge more if I have ocean view. I can charge more if I have pool views. I can charge more if somebody wants to see fireworks in this certain section and the only place you can see it is in this section. Whether you can use the amenities or not, these things come up. But now Victor Marrero has a different situation where he's saying they can't use any of the amenities, which I want to hear more about this. Victor Marrero, if you are not in the rental pool, you can't charge for access to the amenities, correct? Let's see. Is that under the contract? That's a significant legal matter to have the power over you as to who to sell. Yeah, Victor Marrero, that's why I'm trying to get the contract myself. But apparently it's in the contract. So again, that's a right of first refusal means you're in a closed loop environment, just like a timeshare would be. Timeshares have right of first refusals because they sell for a penny or nothing at all. They try to, like, okay, I'll give you a perfect example. When you start talking about Hyatt, for instance, they have right of first refusal. You can't sell your timeshare unless you go through them. Diamond Resorts, you can't sell it unless you go through them. Get this. I'll give you a perfect example of what Diamond Resorts does. They have right of first refusal, and they charge, it could be more now. They used to charge $1,500 if you want to transfer your place to another person. Here's what happened. They had right of first refusal. People would want to sell their units for, let's say, $8,000. You can go on eBay and buy them for free. But what they started doing was they said, oh, if you buy them on secondary market, then that leaves you out of some sort of special benefits. So people said, we don't really care about those special benefits because we're buying it for like $5. And so what do they do? When you transfer it, they said, we want right of first refusal. So now somebody says, I'm selling it for $2,000. Well, they know they can go online on Craigslist or anywhere and pick them up for free, the points. So what they did was, instead of doing the right of first refusal, they said, we want $1,500. It used to be $300 for the transfer. Then it was $500. Then it was $1,000. Then it was $1,500. So that way they could stop people from giving their timeshares away. So now you can't even give it away, but somebody's got to pay $1,500. This is the kind of stuff that went down. And I'm not saying they're a timeshare, but they're acting like that in this case. They're acting like they want a closed loop system. And I thought you're buying a condo. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. I agree with you 110%. I don't like it one bit. You guys know. So you know a video's coming out. And you know I got to verify twice and make sure. That Victor Morrell, they don't control how much you can sell your house, but those not in the rental pool can only do plus or minus 10% rental versus others in the rental pool. Yeah, but that's a problem. Wow. Thanks for that update, boss. The devil is in the details. Exactly, Vanessa Kamage. And I'm trying to figure out if this is a new contract, old contract, or what the deal is. Nobody's really mentioned this until recently. This just came up. So I have to double check myself. Georges Charles, no, if you aren't part of the rental pool, meaning rental program, you can't charge for the amenities because your renters won't have them. Victor Marrero, what amenities are you referring to? Are you saying, okay, first of all, you're on the grounds of Margaritaville. Are you saying I get a wristband color? You're saying I can't go to the pool? That's what I'm trying to understand. I can't go to the pool. I can't go eat at the restaurant. I can't, obviously, probably not the water park area, but I'm just saying, what are we talking about here? You said no amenities. I'm like, a pool is like right there. But actually, Cruise on Land's talking like that as well. They're saying your HOA covers the building and your building's amenities. So I think you have to pay extra to go allow the amenities for the week. I don't really care about the amenities. The reason why I don't care about paying for the amenities is this. Just because they're saying it's $65 per room now doesn't mean in 2026 that they're not saying it's $150 per room. So now we're in a whole nother ball game, and they can dictate every year. They can up the price. You're not locked in just to and they're going to up your HOAs as well. That's just a given. So now what you're going to pay when you first get there is going to be different the year later and the year after that and the year after that. And you're going to have two increases. And if they're $25 or $10, so be it. But all I'm saying is that changes ball games based on that. We all know HOAs go up. All right. No, if you aren't part of the rental pool, yep, you can't do it. At Victor Marrero and Eric, it sounds the same way. If you don't have access to amenities, there's no way you can charge the same as others who have access. Georges Charles, that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. If I'm at Cruise on Land, I don't have amenities, and I want to rent, they're telling the owners that they can only rent minus 10%. If they're only charging $150 a night for, let's say, a 2-bedroom unit, that means I have no leverage if I'm not in the rental pool because I don't have amenities and I'm not in the rental pool. So therefore, I want to charge. I can only charge 15. I have to charge 135 or more. Nobody on the planet is going to sit there and say, oh, yeah, I'm going to sign up for 135 with no amenities versus paying an extra $15 per night to get all amenities. That's what I'm saying. The non-owners are penalized because they were going to rent themselves. That's the way I look at it. And they are being penalized. They have no problem with not having amenities. The problem is they're going to rent at maybe 99 per night or 89 per night. That's what I'm saying, which should be their prerogative. And they're making it like you're a stepchild, meaning you don't get a choice. And minus 10% is not going to move the needle. Even if somebody said it's 500 a night, 450 a night, no amenities, or 500 a night and amenities. People are going to pick the 500 a night and amenities. It doesn't. So that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I have a problem with. All right. At Victor Morel. Exactly. I promise it is fair to say that those not in the rental pool with no amenities access will no way charge the same as others with amenities access. Don't you agree? I have no idea. But again, you're not getting the point. We're talking about even if they charge, they can't get the same. They have to charge within 10% at Cruise on Land. At Margaritaville, they can charge 50% of the rental rate and still get their money. That's what I'm trying to say. So you're going to penalize the people that aren't in the rental pool and not allow them to make money, which now is going to mean these people could then turn around and be in like, well, I don't live there. I'm getting tired of paying $150 a month or $200 a month, so I'm not going to pay it. That because I can't rent it out. This is just what happened with the Blue Green owners. They're sitting there going, we got so many points. We usually rent our stuff out, and then we go for like 3 or 4 weeks, a year around the world, and now they're sitting there like, well, I'm not going to be paying no $4,000 or $5,000, $6,000 out of my own pocket because I can't rent anymore. So I'm thinking about giving it back. This is all I'm saying. It's not a timeshare, but now you put people in a position where now they might not be able to rent, which is going to, in turn, could affect your HOA situation. So just keep that in mind. There's other factors that's going to come into play when you start doing this 10% thing. That's not enough. It should be up to 50%, quite frankly. Because why do you care? I don't even understand why they're involved in that. So we're going to find out. We'll find out. With all that being said, Punta Cana may have different rules. I suspect you'll have more flexibility to let the renters use the amenities and those fees transfer to you as the owner. Yeah. At Cruise on Land, well, so far, Cruise on Land's the only one charging for amenities. Vista Cana is not. So, and no other project is either, as far as I know. So keep that in mind as well. Everybody's rolling out to their Cana Rock. Well, there's really no amenities if you have the condos at the moment because you have to pay to go to the beach club. But again, the beach club is nothing. You got to pay to eat at the beach club anyhow. So that's a little different. But I'm talking about all condos that have restaurant, bars, mini golf, putting greens, tennis courts, basketball courts. None of them, as far as nobody charges for amenities. Cruise on Land's the only one. Who else charges for amenities are all-inclusive resorts. That's it. There's no other condo projects I know of. If anybody has a condo project here, because we have over 40 people in the SSN Nation, if you see this video in a replay, let me know if you're paying extra outside of your HOAs for amenities. See, therein lies another inherent problem. And if Larimar does the same thing, they're dropping out the top 5. There's no way. Nobody's doing this. And this also means the value of having amenities inside your project that you don't have to pay for. Now that increases in value somewhat. I'm just saying this changes things dramatically in my book. Dramatically. All right, Victor Morel, what do you think of cruise people not in the rental pool can only do plus or minus 10% rent compared to others in the rental pool? Yeah, he's at Margaritaville. That could be devastating if his neighbors wouldn't be able to rent at 30 or 40% cheaper. That's crazy. George's Charles, Eric, you telling me someone who has not access to amenities are going to charge more than others? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying they're going to charge less. Well, there's variables, but all I'm saying is generally you're not going to charge. If somebody walks in somewhere and they say, "Hey, man, you have all the amenities," then and we're gonna charge you $200 per night, versus the other owner who says, "Well, you can't use the amenities, and all I can do is and my rent is 180." What I'm saying is the person is not going to rent at 180. They're just going to pay the extra $20 per night. The guy, the non-rental pool owner, is going to charge 180. He's probably not going to get that many bookings because he's going to have to charge like 120 or something to make it seem a big difference. And so they're not going to be able to do that, which now means people who don't know that they're not going to be able to do this, when they get there and they find out that they can't rent for damn near 40 or 50% less, then they're probably either A, going to have to say, well, how much is the furniture package? I guess I better get in the rental pool. Well, that's going to be interesting because they're going to say 20, 25,000 or whatever. And now they're going to tell them we're going to take 25%. So that's going to be a very interesting conversation. So all I'm saying is no. Now, what I said was occasionally, depending on where your unit is in the building, and if you have ocean views or if you have some sort of view in your building, you charge more, and you could charge more sometimes than what's in the rental pool numbers because you're doing dynamic pricing. If there's a special event, and like I'll give you a perfect example. Next year, Super Bowl, Las Vegas. People are already calling to make reservations in Las Vegas. All right. Hotels are already taking bookings. They've upped their prices maybe by now. You can charge more than the hotels at this point if you want to. There's only a limited number of spaces that people can stay. You're going to have over 200,000 people in Vegas next year just for that. All right. So all I'm saying is you just never know. There's always variables. But the fact of the matter is these guys dictating to me whether I can charge 10% more or up to 10% less, they shouldn't even have nothing to do with this because I'm not in the rental pool. I'm an owner of my condo, but now it appears I'm not. Here we go. This is what I wanted to know. They can go to Sunset Walk restaurants, movie theater, enjoy the live music, but they won't have access to any of the pools, gym, or pool bars. They can, however, go to the water park paying. There we go. So they're going. Oh, and here's another point that is going to be made about this. So Victor Marrero, your neighbors that aren't in the rental pool, do you guys have any discussions? Have you talked to them? What is the status of them renting? Do they enjoy renting? Are they getting? They're probably not getting as much as you because they're not a business and they're not going to be listed on 4, 5, 6, 7 sites and travel agents and all that. So they won't get the same occupancy as you do. But do you know how much approximately they charge and what they how many nights per month they're getting? That's the difference because all of you might have paid the same price, $300,000 fully furnished. Or actually, they might not have even gotten in the rental pool. So they paid $250 plus however much it costs for them to furnish their place, which the sky's the limit. It could be 30,000, 40, 50, 70, who knows? So we'll see. All right, laughing my ass. Eric face change. Now he finds out non-rental pool don't have access to the pool. Exactly. That's crazy. But you're not understanding. He's at Margaritaville. People stay at Margaritaville. It's this brand. Margaritaville's a different animal. You start taking away amenities, people are still going to stay there. That's what I'm trying to say. This is not cruise on land. We don't know what's going to happen because there are so many projects. We don't know if they go, hey, if you stay out here, you have no amenities. But if you stay over here at Vista Cana, you get all those amenities. If you go over here to Larimar, you get all those amenities. So now people are going to start making choices, which now means people are going to find out about other projects as well. And they're going to go, well, wait a minute, I can stay over here, and they're charging $125 a night too, but I get all these amenities. So you're going to find yourself in a situation. Margaritaville is an upscale luxury location. They have a brand. They're totally different. Like I said, a woman stays in a hotel room in West End, Virgin Islands. It costs $1,000 per night. She comes over to Vino Bello and stays at the Meritage, which has a studio unit. They charge $600, $550 a night and has all these amenities. She's upset at her husband. She's like, let's just go back to the West End, the Virgin Islands. They're in California. She's sitting here with the wine vineyards and everything behind her. She's in a wine cave tasting wine with the spa right here with candles and everything, which they don't even have at the West End in the Virgin Islands. But it costs $1,000 a night, and she'd rather go there, forego the bowling alley, forego the hot tubs, forego the restaurant, bars, lounge, nightclub, forego all of that. I want to go to the West End and pay $1,000 per night. So people think differently. So there's no 100% way of anything when you go to rentals. You just have to understand that if somebody tells me I don't have access and I can charge only 10% less, I can't charge 10% less and rent. I'm gonna have to charge damn near 40 to 50% less to rent without amenities. And the question I have, Victor Marrero, is this: how long is your rental contract? Let's find out. Good evening, SSN family. Don't conflate the difference. You're paying okay, you have a 2-bedroom unit. You're paying $130 a month for you and your guests to use the amenities. The other person is paying nothing. And you're both paying, I'm assuming, the same, whoever has a 2-bedroom as well, they're paying the same HOAs because it's $2 a square meter. So that should be the same. So the only difference between you and anybody else is when somebody's renting and they're a non-renter at Cruise on Land or at Margaritaville, they tell them just what Victor Marrero said. The reason I'm charging you $375 versus $550 is because you don't have access to the amenities, but you can pay for the water park. Okay, that's their choice. And that's also the choice of the owner of the condominium. If the owner of the condominium wants to charge $200 per night, so be it. The fact of the matter is, if Margaritaville told them you can only charge 10% less, you best believe some people at Margaritaville are going to be pissed because they're going to go, hey, you guys charge $550 a night. Are you telling me I got to charge $495 without amenities? What do you mean? What are you talking about here? I'm not going to be able to rent if that's the case. And why do you care? All you should care about is getting your 25 or 35% management fee. Why do you care what I'm renting for? And they're going to say, oh, we want fair competition. Well, it's not fair competition because I don't have access to the amenities. So why would I want to pay the same as somebody who does have access to the amenities? That doesn't make sense. You're penalizing the people that's not in the rental pool. And like I said, there's a double-edged sword in my opinion. Curtis Davis, welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. Thank you so much for being here with the icon next to your name. And he says, good evening, SSN fam. ABMM, always be making money is the thing. And also in these YouTube streets, he's known here as Mr. Financial, but in the YouTube streets, he has his own channel. So go subscribe to his channel. It's Chili Davis with 2 L's. Chilly, Chili Davis with 2 L's, and make sure you smash the like button here. It's getting a little heated. I'm getting a little hot because I like capitalism. I've been doing rentals for a long time, and there's never been a time when the rental pool guys called up and said, oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Berg. You can't rent 50% below us or 20% below us, or you can't charge $200 more per night than us. That's never happened. I will say this, though. There has been hotels that got pissed when they found out I was charging like $500 more, $700 more for the overall stay a person was staying with me than what they were charging. It happened Squaw Valley. It happened in Hawaii. The people check in. It's over Christmas. Because of situations like this, the owner couldn't rent their unit out. So the owner gave me their week for $400 or $500. I charged the person $1,995 because it's freaking Christmas week for the week. Now, come to find out, the hotel only charged roughly $1,500. Person checks in. The person arrives the next day, actually, because their flight got delayed. So they can't find the reservation because they think they check in that day when in fact they checked in the day before. It goes by the date, not the name. So they're looking around. The people are like, what's going on? We called yesterday. They said we were in the system just to verify and let you know we're late. What's happening? And then somebody said something like, yeah, we paid like $1,900 or something like this. And the person at the front desk took offense. They said, what? They said, you could have just stayed the whole week here for like $1,500, $1,600. They're like, huh? Well, it don't matter. We're here, whatever. And then they started talking to the people like, oh, yeah, you should just call them back, cancel it. We actually have a room that opened up. And they're like, wait, what do you mean opened up? We were sold out, but somebody just opened up. They're like, of course you were sold out. That's why we rented the place. We looked online. So these are the things that happen, and I don't care. I'm just like, yeah, I'm charging more than hotels. But again, it includes amenities. Same thing happened at Squaw Valley as well. I don't really care. I charge based on prime time, and that's what you got to do. I got another video from Cana Rock Galaxy Construction today. Also have some photos for Cana Rock Star, where my brother invested. I am hoping to close mid next year. Cana Rock Star is starting to rent out. Victor Morero, good news. Well, it was good news last month and February. I've been tracking Cana Rock because that's an actual experiment. Cana Rock basically is on the golf course, and you don't have amenities to Hard Rock Casino. And you have to pay, I think, I don't really know. I think you have to pay to go out to the beach club. $30, I think it is, for each person. And you either eat food there and use it or lose it. But I don't think you get any amenities, though. You just can go out to the beach because you're not going to have the wristband. So I don't think you're going to be able to go use the pools and all that. You can use the beach club pool and restaurant, but you're not going to be able to go in the Hard Rock section, I don't think. So that's the thing. So the good news was in March, people that had 2 bedrooms were able to rent like $150, $125. Sure, you had outliers, $99, $95, $105, $117, but there was a lot more people in the $125 to $160 range than there used to be last year. So that's a good sign, but they don't have amenities. So that's why I always watch Cana Rock, because it's going to be very, very interesting what's going to happen. And therefore, I have an idea what's going to happen, like places like Simply the Beach. We have owners of the beach here. We have owners that's going to be at Larimar. We have owners that's going to be at Cruise on Land and Vista Cana. Places that actually have amenities. In theory, they should be able to charge more than the people at Cana Rock. Because just what we're talking about here, amenities versus no amenities. So it's going to be very, very interesting to find out if a person that has a 2-bedroom at Vista Cana, are they going to be able to charge $150 a night, $175 a night, $200 per night because you have amenities, versus other projects. And I don't mean to pick on Cana Rock, but other projects that all they have is a pool and nothing else, right? Like the one I'm going to pick on right now, the Woods, a pool and nothing else. And you have a 2-bedroom penthouse unit. Meanwhile, somebody has a 2-bedroom unit and they have amenities at Larimar, Cruise on Land, Primaverals, and Vista Cana. So how much is it if they're charging 100 a night, how much is yours worth when you have all these amenities that's included? That's what the real deal is. But me calling up the Woods renter and telling him, hey, man, I'm charging 200 a night and all you can charge is 180 a night. That's what this is akin to. And I definitely don't like it. I don't like it at all. So that's the talk right there. So that's where we're at with this, along with their 4-part plan. Victor Morel, does your brother have his property yet? If so, how much is he renting it? That's a good question. They're renting at the Star. People at the Star are renting, but they have the same rental company. They're renting for like 137, 155, 145, 125. It's in that upper range. I think there was one for 115 or something like that, but it's going to vary because you have all these condos. People are going to rent based on how many nights they want to rent. So that's what I'm trying to say about Cruise on Land, telling people, can you imagine right now at Cana Rock, if the management company called up everybody and said, hey, we're charging 150 a night. You can only charge 135 or more. People would be like, what are you talking about? I need to rent my unit. I don't live there. If I want to charge 115 a night, that's what I want to charge. If I want to charge 75 a night, that's what I want to charge. But this 135 to make it fair for everybody, everybody bought their unit, owns their unit. This ain't a timeshare. But I like what somebody told us 2 months ago when they actually said, yeah, you're buying a timeshare. It sounds like it to me. Victor Morel, does your brother? Oh, yeah, he rents. I don't know if his unit's up yet. We'll find out. At George's Charles, no, my brother's unit is not finished yet. However, I have a friend that has a 1-bedroom unit inside Cana Rock, and he's charging between 75 to 150 per night. Exactly, like he should. This is exactly what I'm talking about. So this would be like Cana Rock calling him up and saying, hey, man, we're charging $140 per night. So you have to charge either 128, up anywhere from 128 to 155. And the guy's like, wait, I've been charging like 75 a night so I can get renters. And I've been doing very good at $80 a night, 95 a night, because I'm doing dynamic pricing. I'm basing it on the season. I'm basing it on certain things. Imagine if all these people got calls and they said, you can't do this. You have to stay within 10%. These people are going to go ballistic. They're going to be like, why am I going to own here? That's what I'm saying. Victor Morero, wow. What is his occupancy rate? We'll find out. My concern to Eric's point is Cana Rock will have so much competition. What will differentiate me? Well, yeah, Cruise on Land, all the ones that have, that's why this is a test case. Because it's going to be very interesting if something happens that's weird. What happens if their 2 bedrooms start renting for $300 per night? See, that's what I want to find out. What happens if it's $250 a night? 300, 325, 350. What does that make the value of a 2-bedroom at my top 3 projects right now? Or any other projects? Even Outer Bay 2 has water park. So what makes those, what's the value of those projects if you have a same 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom and a penthouse and all that? That makes things very interesting. Or a villa inside these projects. This is going to change the game. So that's why I'm always wanting to find out about Cana Rock, because I like the prices creeped up over this last March. I'm hoping that it does turn into fruition where they're able to charge $300 a night for a 2-bedroom, because then that means everybody, Vista Cana and all the guys who have actual amenities, they're going to be able to charge at least $300 a night, just like them. Yeah, the units are larger there at Cana Rock. The 2-bedrooms, at least, they're a little larger than normal. They're bigger than 1,000 square feet, I believe. So they have a little advantage there. But the point is, it's still a test case. So we're going to find out. And yes, there's going to be a lot of competition at Cana Rock. That's why I feel that Cana Rock, well, owners are going to do just what his friend does, 75 to 150 a night. If Cana Rock all of a sudden walked in and said, you guys got to charge 140 to 128 to 54, all these people that are charging 116, 120, 125, 135, all of them are going to be pissed. And there's a lot of people charging in that range. So now all of those people are going to be in the same range. And by the way, including the non-amenity users. And so now I'm going to say one thing, and it's going to be very interesting because Victor Morel alluded to it earlier. Imagine somebody walking around and finding out that they paid $130 per night. And they're like, yeah, I paid $130 a night, but I don't have the amenities. Then they find out another person goes, yeah, I rent from an owner and he has the amenities package and I paid $140 a night. That is going to be wild. That right there is going to be wild to me. That's going to be wild. I don't like it. Keep in mind that if you're in a rental pool, you don't have to worry about anything, i.e. marketing, checking in, checking out, customers, maintenance, etc. I pay 30% to the company, but I sleep well at night. Victor Morel, it's not about the rental pool actually itself. The rental pool, if you have high occupancy, that's a beautiful thing. That's beautiful. What I'm referring to is as a condo owner or a villa owner, the HOA being able to tell you that you have to stay within plus or minus 10% of what they are renting the unit for. And what they're renting the unit for will most likely include amenities. So now they're telling, so 10 plus or minus 10%, clearly a person is not going to generally charge more than what the hotel charges, generally, unless it's a special event. You can find yourself charging just as much or more. But generally, if you don't have the same amenities as another person, you're going to charge less. And it's usually more than 10% because you have to make it worth their while. 10% is not worth their while. 40 or 50% worth their while. That's the difference. So it's not about the rental pool. His occupancy has been over 80% consistent. There are customers for everyone here. That's the beauty about this, especially when our units are brand new. See right there, Victor Morel. See, this is what you have to understand. He has a range, 75 to 150. If he did not have that range and all of a sudden they go, hey, we're renting for 150 a night, you have to charge 135 minimum. His occupancy rate's going to drop. That's just the way it's going to work. So now he's going to be like, I used to get 80%. Well, it won't be used to because he'll never have known about it. But his 80% could drop to half, 40 or 30%. Now this person has HOA fees to pay, has to pay for his condo. And now all of a sudden they're like, I don't live there. I didn't plan on paying out of my pocket. I'm not going to pay HOA fees. I see a problem. That's all I'm saying. Whether it happens or not, who knows? But I don't like 10% plus or minus, and nobody else does this. And in this particular case, he wouldn't have 80% occupancy if they relegated him to 10% based on what they're. So everybody in the place is doing a 10% within 10% type of volume. That means all the units available are within 10%. And now what's going to differentiate between the other units? Nothing. You all have the furniture package. You all look the same. When people sign up online, it's a hotel as far as they're concerned. All the units look the same. The people that are going to be on Airbnb, units won't look the same unless they bought the furniture package. So now these people are like putting their stuff Airbnb. They don't want to charge the same as the hotel. They're going to charge less generally. More than likely, 99% of the people are going to charge less than the hotel. But 10%, that's not even, that puts them at a big disadvantage. So the question is, how many people aren't going to be in the rental pool, not paying and not getting, well, heaven forbid, 20% occupancy, 30% occupancy. They have money that they're going to owe on their loans, HOA fees. Now all of a sudden that's going to end up snowballing, in my opinion. We'll find out. Unless they change things. They still have time. Eric and Victor Morel, they can go to Sunset Walk, restaurants, movie theater, and live live music. But they won't have access to any of the pools, gym, or pool bars. They can go to the water park paying. Yep. Yep. And the question is, how much is the water park? Out of curiosity. Because the reason I'm asking is they have it's not the same. Well, maybe it is the same water park same type of water park at Margaritaville. So the question is, how much do they pay at the water park? Margaritaville is upscale. So it could be $99 a person. Could be $159 a person like Caribbean Lake Park for all day. If you know, I don't know if you would know. Victor Morero, he is charging that with 80% occupancy. And do people know they have to pay for access to the Hard Rock amenities? That's the whole reason, I think. That's the whole reason. That's why he charges lower than what somebody else. Well, everybody has to charge the same rate. That's the whole point. If he had a locked in price, then he's screwed. Everybody would be in the same, all those units. That's okay. In fact, everybody's wondering maybe by now, what's Eric talking about here? What's going on? All right, let me show you guys. Let me, hold on. I got to get this out. Please smash the like button. This is a cruise on land talk. I went over some Airbnb subject matter, but this also has to do with Airbnb because you're hearing what I'm saying about charging, and Victor Morel's chiming in also. He's in a rental pool. They have somebody that manages his property. I'm sure they have it on the platforms, but he sleeps at night, like he says, because he has a management company. But the question then is, you may not have a management company. How much can you charge? Now, you, of course, are going to look at what other owners are charging, what the hotel is charging, or the management company's charging. You're going to look at that, but you're not going to base it entirely on that because you're going to go look at the calendar of events and you're going to find out, oh, in the month of January, we'll use Cana Rock again. They have concerts in the park, as I call it. 5,000 to 10,000 people are going to be there. Hard Rock is charging they charged $1,300 per night this year in January. They made it where people had to do 4 or 5 night minimums. But yet, people that had 2-bedroom condos was only charging $150, $170 or less. Why? Because there's no amenities. In other words, they can't go into the Hard Rock. You have to buy $100 a night wristbands or more, depending on how long you're going to stay. If you're going to stay all day or half a day, that's per person per day. So that's why they have to charge a little bit less. But the fact of the matter is, they should have been able to charge $300 or $400 per night. You would have thought, right? If people are paying $1,200 and a 5-day minimum or 4-day minimum, but no, that's not what happened. But imagine the other way around. Cruise on land, they have a concert at their amphitheater. They have 5,000 to 10,000 people there. And they tell you, hey, we're charging $200 a night. So all you can do is charge up to $220 or charge down to $180. And you're like, you do know there's 5,000 or 10,000 people coming. I want to charge like $300 a night. Sorry. So again, this is why I don't like it, because it caps you in a certain where everybody's going to be. Everybody that's renting is in that ballpark. And 10% doesn't move the needle either way, because some people are going to be 3%, 5% in either direction from the rental pool. So you're all going to be there. And right now, if I go to Cana Rock, which we'll go check out, we're going to go see how many units are actually available. And so let me see if I can find something here. Larimar, prices went up, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. You heard. Let's go. In fact, I'm going to go to, let me see if I have it. Oh, yeah, here we go. I'm going to show you the new prices for Larimar, and then we'll get into the Airbnb. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to everybody that got in. Kyle, congratulations, man. Kyle, he got unit 702. Oh, I think it wasn't it Tower Tower. No, 702. Oh no, 702 or 701. Either way, that says south, but that should be, my man, I'm hoping you got, no. You needed 706. That's what you needed. Anyhow, 702 is 105,000 right now in Tower 1. So let me go see if he's in Tower 2, because he's got ocean view, I know, because we talked about it. So I think he's in Tower 2. No, Tower 2. Well, let's go see Tower 2. 702 is a 1-bedroom. Oh my. It's the equivalent of what a 2-bedroom used to cost. 118,500. I believe he bought it for 112,500. So he's got a $6,000 equity, and in 3 months it's going to 121. Every 3 months at Larimar, they're changing the prices 2.5%. And it's 2.5% on the 118.5. So that means this is going to be like 122, 123. So he's going to have a 10%. And then every 3 months, there's going to be another 2.5. So it's going to be 128 or 129, then 132. By the end of this year, this is going to be like 135. And he bought it, I'm assuming, for 112.5. And yes, I was trying to push him to spend the extra 6,000 and get a 2-bedroom. But he said he has to deal with the wife. I believe that was him that said, I got to deal with the wife. So hopefully it was 701 would be excellent. No, he got 702. I think he got 702. Kyle, if you're still here, let us know. Let us know which one you got again. Let me see if he's still here. Nope, he's not here. Let me go look back. So you guys can see what the prices have went up to. Remember, 5 months ago, a 1-bedroom was $89,900 on all floors. A 2-bedroom was $118,900 on all floors, except, I shouldn't say all floors, except the first floor. It was more because you have a extra terrace space, and the 15th floor. Those are penthouse units. So therefore, but all floors were that. Then they went and increased them up to based on the floor in Tower 1 and Tower 2. And recently, even right now, I'm going to show you the price for Tower 4. Tower 4, here you go. Tower 4, let's go up to Unit 10 and Unit 1. In Tower 2 and Tower 4, Unit 10 and Unit 1 are 2 bedrooms. So there are your ocean or partial ocean views. The unit in the middle is going to be the 1-bedroom. So that's going to be 802. Now, in Tower 4, 802 is 108,000. But notice this, on the 9th floor, Tower 2, 902 is, what is that? 902 is 108,000. But if you want to go on the side of the building, then it's 92,000 for a 1-bedroom. And it's 108 for a 1-bedroom when you have partial ocean view. Notice 108. Let's see what's happening when we get up to the 13th floor. What is the O2 unit? 110. So hardly any more. But the ones that have ocean view now in Tower 1 and Tower 2, they're 118.5. And you could be in Tower 4 and buy a 2-bedroom for 121.5 on the 10th floor. Let's see, number 1 and number 10. Yeah, 121 on the 9th and 10th floor, 121.5. So just a little difference. But anyhow, everybody purchases based on what they need, not based on what I'm going to say, right? So Kyle's in the family. So that's a great thing. I got to say, let me see. Kyle let us know. I think he said 70. For some reason, I keep thinking it was 701, but I think it's 702. Yes, it's T2 702. Congratulations, Kyle. He got it just in the nick of time. It was just in the last 2 to 3 weeks. And Kyle already, I don't know who he went through to get it. So let us know, Kyle. I think he already had somebody he was going through. Oh no, he went through Gwen. Come to think of it. So congratulations on that. 702. No, that's Tower 4. So now everybody can see the differences. You snooze, you lose. 702 is now 118.5. So Kyle purchased his at 112.5. He has $6,000 equity so far. Somebody's going to buy it 118.5 and in a one bedroom in the tower. And then somebody is going to have to pay 122 or 121 in 3 months in July if they want a one bedroom. And then if they go in September and somebody wants to buy between September and December, it's going to be 125. And then on December, and it's now prime time next year, it's going to be 130, 131 or more, because the penthouse units, they went higher than 2.5, just so you guys know. Now, I'm going to do something else, just so people, when they don't understand, there's a reason you want to get in earlier than later if possible. The links are down below in the description if you want to do Larimar, Cruise on Land, Sabana, Seven Palms. They're all the top 3 places to be. The links are down below with the realtors' names, and you can hook up with the WhatsApp. So here is the stuff in gray is blocked. Apparently, the Vendita is sold. So those are the differences. I'm going to show you this here so everybody can see what this was before. So this is Tower 1. Here is, let's go down. Oh, I don't have it all. Sorry. I'm going to go to, this is Tower 1. So I'm going to go to 705. 5 and 706. Here's 706. In Tower 1, the front units are 705 and 707. So the one bedroom that has ocean view is 112.9. So Kyle purchased his one bedroom for 112.9. And in a matter of a week or two from him doing his reserve, because I'm pretty sure he didn't send in his money already, but the contracts probably just came out. But he basically locked in the 112.9 price, and as of 2 weeks later, somebody has to buy theirs at 118.9. And now you can see here the guy that owned unit 705, the 2 bedrooms, they paid 118.9 originally. That's what the price was for these units throughout the whole building at one time. But now they've changed it. But even if you bought 702, it's gone already, so don't even worry about that. But 133.9 now is what they have at unit 10. And I should have shown you guys something else, because there is something else over here on this page that I should have showed you. This is how crazy this is getting. If you're on the 10th floor and you have a 2 bedroom, it's 143. And the 1 bedroom is 124 already. Remember, usually a higher floor gives you more money. You can also rent sometimes on a higher floor. Just keep that in mind. Not all the time, but sometimes these little nuances, you get an extra $25, $30 per night because you're on a higher floor. And it gives you a different view. Or sometimes you have to charge exactly what everybody else is generally charging, right? It just depends. But look at that. That's crazy. If you're on the 12th floor, 2 bedroom, 143. Wait, hold on. Number 10. For some reason, number 10, 134.5, 134.5. So what's up with 10? What's up with floor 10? There must be something on floor 9 or 10, right? 143. Here it is. That's unit 107. 2 bedroom, 143. I don't know why. Have to figure it out. But all I'm saying is different units are costing different. Here goes 138.5. That's unit 201. That's in the front of the building, but that does not have any ocean view. And yet it's 138.5. You want to know why it's 138.5? It has a wraparound deck. The deck is over 500, it's 600 square feet. Only on the second floor do you have a wraparound deck. All the other levels, no wraparound deck. That's why that's 138.5. All right, there's little nuances here and there. Okay, now let's go to Airbnb, shall we? Let's go check it out. I'm going to give you guys what we're talking about here is cruise on land, and I do not like it. Other people say fair. Other people say everybody's falling within some category. And by the way, Kyle, tell your wife congratulations as well. All right, she's not watching. Congratulations, well done. Welcome to the party. Here we are. Let's go, Punta Cana. And then I'm going to wrap this up. But make sure you smash the like button. We're going to go do our thing. And remember, high season was last week. This starts okay, we're going to find out right now. What I call Holy Week. So I'm going to put in the 6th. Well, I won't do that because tomorrow's the 6th. I'll just do the 7th. I'm going to try and do the 7th through the 14th, which we'll see. I'm going to put in 5 guests because that'll get us generally 2 bedrooms. And then we're going to go from there. And you guys, we're going to go up a Cana Rock. Again, that's the test. The test. I don't know what other people are using, but for me, I'm going by Cana Rock because they have limited amenities. And if you want to pay for amenities, you got to pay. You can pay to go to the Hard Rock. But again, it's pricey. It's $100, $110 per person. So that would be like $650 for like a half day or 5 hours or whatever their thing is. Okay, Hard Rock is where is it? That's Macau. Let's see what's happening here. Nothing's available. That's interesting. That's places. 146, 95, El Cortecito, 198, 3 something, but that's by the water, 152, 108. Here's a villa, 3-bedroom. Don't know where it is though. But we don't have any Hard Rocks. No Hard Rocks are showing. Nothing. Wonder why. This is interesting. Oh, whoa, there we go. Uh-oh, look at here. 500. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Look at this, Victor Marrero. He's loving life, and everybody else should also rejoice. If you're at Vista Cana, if you're at any other project that has amenities, you should be rejoicing as well. This is Holy Week. This is exactly what I'm talking about. These guys all of a sudden said, we're renting for $499. Did something happen over there, Victor Marrero? Do people have access to the Hard Rock all of a sudden? Because if they do, this changes the whole ball game. Or do they have discount? Look at this, 516. Where did this pricing come from? Gee, this is crazy. I'm like in shock. Victor Marrero with a big smile on his face. Look at this. 522. This wasn't the case just 2 days ago when I looked. 157 a night was the case. 2-bedroom condo. So this is a perfect example of what I'm referring to. Somebody didn't get a memo that prices have escalated for this Holy Week. So now you have a guy renting for 157. The rental pool should be renting at, looks like, $300 and some odd dollars. They would have called this guy up and said, hey, man, you're renting at 157. You have to rent at $300. That's the minimum. So you got to raise your rent to $300. But as you can see, his 157 isn't booked. This person's 200 isn't booked, but we wouldn't know what really is booked. But this is awesome. I'm very, very happy. This is happiness. I'm happy to see this. 160. What is this? Oh, this is a penthouse unit. I love it. I love it. Casino, play golf at the Hard Rock. Very nicely done here. Nice table outside, a barbecue grill. Very, very well done. But 600 a night. This guy's asking 800. Breakfast included. Brand new. Okay, I'm going to expand on this. You want to know why? Because this is research. And then, of course, we are going to check next week, right? We're going to do a little research here. So I'm going to go check this out. And what we're going to find out is this. The comment. See. Is that under their contract? Different rules. I using amenities and those fees transferred. Yeah. Oh, I should have put that on screen while this is loading. I promise it's fair. Say those not in rental pool with no amenities accessible. No way. I don't know if I put this on screen. George's Charles said, what did he say? Let's see. It's not showing up. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Urban City. Who is Urban City? And look, they want 1,000 per night. You know why they want 1,000 per night? This is exactly what I'm talking about. Because I would be willing to bet you Hard Rock is charging $1,300 a night, and they have a 3 or 4 night minimum. We're going to go look, but that is what I suspect. But Urban City is doing the exact right thing. Somebody could pay $500 or $600 less per night, and they're staying for 4 or 5 nights and save themselves $2,000 or $3,000. Bingo. This is what we love to see right here. We love it. All right. That's Urban City. The reason why I did that is the rentals out at Hard Rock or Cana Rock seems to be a lot of people are joining in the rental pool. So they are colluding, which there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not mad at them. So when I pull up another one, we should find a different. Let's see. Let's go to 314. So we'll see what this person, who their renter is, and we'll see if it's Urban City or an independent person, but it could be a different company, more than likely. This is what I'm referring to right here. They don't have a cap. They're able to rent this person. This one's by Christopher. Christopher didn't get the memo. Well, he did get the memo because he's charging $314, $388 for the 7th through the 14th per night. It's going to cost somebody $3,100. This is beautiful. I'm very, very happy to see this. Show all 100 amenities. Oh my. What's this? Okay. What's in the room is not an amenity. What's this? Oh, yes. He's in a building that has exercise equipment. They do have a restaurant and they do have a pool. So those 3 things are going to be there. All right. At the Cana Rock properties. But this is beautiful. Even 388 is beautiful. We're loving this, Victor Marrero. We're loving it. We're loving this, Victor Marrero. I know you are. Don't be shy. Oh, you guys can see it. Okay, I was on a different screen. All right. You're loving this. I'm loving this. This is great news. I love to see this. But, of course, this is Holy Week. So I think we're going to also look at the following week. So don't worry. We're going to check the following week to find out what the prices fall back down to. And then, of course, this is why it's a beautiful thing. This is beautiful. I love this. 625. I love this. This is, I wish they would show who the renter is without me having to hit the screen. Because it takes me to another screen and then I have to keep flopping back and forth. So we'll see. We're going to take a little break here. And again, the pricing is one thing, but this plus minus 10% I don't like. The thing else that they're doing is saying you have to be in the rental pool. And if you're not in the rental pool, you can't be in the amenities pack. That's crazy. All right. Hosted by Dania, 624. So she doesn't appear to be a management company. That's $5,000. So why don't we just end this right now? You know why I'm going to end it? Hard Rock, Punta Cana. I know they have to be charging like what they were doing when the Soul Fest, $1,200, $1,300 per night or something. But look, 50% off, a 50% discount at Hard Rock. Well, that's somewhere else. We got to find Punta Cana. That's probably not Punta Cana. Here we go. They're on Expedia. I'm not going to go to Expedia. I'll just go to Hard Rock. It says it's 50% discount. Oh, this would be sweet. This would be sweet. Something new has happened. They didn't like these people paying, charging $117. It looks like 50% off, which this right here is another thing I'm talking about. So if they have to lock in a price, they don't know that the hotel is charging 50% discount. If they're using, let's just find out. So here we go. We're going to go the 7th, April 7th through the 14th. We're going to have 6. So that means 2 rooms. That means what? Here you go. Here's the answer. I doubt if they're charging $600 a night or $500 a night. Just can't be happening. Let's see. Oops. There are no rooms available April 18th to accommodate the number of guests. Please consider booking multiple rooms. Of course, there goes a problem. Oh, never mind. For some reason, it gave me the 14th. Yes, I was correct. You guys can see this. 1356. Oh, you can't see it. I knew it already. I've been doing this a long time. I already knew. Whenever you see prices that escalate like that, they finally got the renters in-house. They finally got the people that are doing dynamic pricing, and they said, if they're charging $1,300, I'm going to charge 50% less than the hotel, which is what they should do, because at $600 per night, you're making out like a bandit. Okay, we still can't get there, ladies and gentlemen. So just so you know, the 7th through the 7th's not it's a 2-night minimum, so we can't get there. But I'm just going to put in the what's going on? We have the 2 nights. Okay. So it's popping up on another screen, I think. We'll see what shows up. But you guys hopefully can see this. Hopefully you can see this. $1,372 plus tax. So somebody's going to pay for 2 nights. They're going to pay $3,000. This is exactly what should have happened at Soul Fest when they were charging 4-night minimums and charging the same amount. And look here, in May, $1,600 on this Thursday night, May 4th, which is Cinco de Mayo, I guess. I don't know if they do that, but $1,600. This is beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we were talking about initially, Victor Morero, in 2020. 2021, we were thinking we'd be able to charge this type of money if they're charging $1,300. This is sweet. I love this. This is special. Victor Morero gets his wish, it looks like, but hold on. Let's do a little more searching, shall we? This is how we determine the prices. And we love this. We love this pricing. I'm loving all of this. Congratulations, everybody who has purchased in Punta Cana. Doesn't matter if you purchase now or if you purchased 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, you will win. All right? You're going to win. Just keep that in your head. We're going to do a new search. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, and I'm actually going to go out to May. So that's Cinco de Mayo, let's say. So I'm going to go May 12th through the 19th. We're going to go look at Cana Rock again. Not everybody else, just Cana Rock, because they have something unique. They have a hotel there that charges an arm and a leg. All right. So we need to know, if a hotel charges an arm and a leg, what can we charge if you're in the vicinity? Because everybody can get wristbands. All right. So now let's see what's happening. That's El Cortecito. We need Hard Rock. Hard Rock is hidden. That's interesting. We have to zoom in to get Hard Rock. Here we go. Looks like they're back. We're back to normal. Here we go. Here we go. Perfect example of dynamic pricing. And also, Hard Rock has a 50% off discount deal as well. But people are doing the right thing. But we're back to the $84, the $99. And if you're doubting, this is 8 infinity pools. Because, wait, whoa, what? No, you don't have access to 8 infinity pools. That's not a thing. So I'm going to discount this. This guy also has it again. 135. Oh, this is the same person? 87. All right. So there's a reason people are charging this. And this also goes to my point at Cruise on Land. I need dynamic pricing. These people clearly know something at Hard Rock, and they're trying to get their 600, 500, 400, 300 per night, because this is generally what we see at Cana Rock. Penthouse, 130 a night. 2-bedroom penthouse, 88 a night. This is what we normally see. But if the rental pool had a cap, then we wouldn't have been able to get our $600 or $300 per night during this prime time if they weren't charging that. And if they were charging these rates, and then I wanted to get 300 or 500 or 600, I couldn't. I can only go up 10%. And for some reason, they're back down to normal pricing. So now I'm not excited as I was. That just means these dates that we put in is special. That's what that means. But is it special everywhere, or is it special just for here? We're on Airbnb right now. If you want to be a host, you better find a spot that has in high demand. Here's what we're talking about. 516, 499, 800, 392. These are all the way out there, except for this guy didn't get the memo. First floor, 2-bedroom apartment, 169 a night. Not everybody pays attention to their dynamic pricing. So some people are going to miss out on $200 or $300 more per night that they could have gotten for like 2 weeks. There's something happening in the DR here, 2 weeks. Is there an event, Victor Marrero, in April? There might be. I don't know if the Latin Awards aren't there, I don't think. I don't know if there's another concert or something's going on, but there's something going on. Okay, let's move along. So let me know what you guys think. If any of this that I talked about regarding Cruise on Land, does this deter you? This guy, 350. This is at Oasis del Lago. And this looks like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1 level. This right here, there's some event going on. This is beautiful. 429. Can't tell where this is. I can't tell from those pictures. But here we got a guy, 114. I can't tell where he is. This could either be in Vista Cana or Primo. Oh, Ecos Del Mar. That's in the Abrisas area. But here's a guy. He's up on it. Beautiful apartment with pool. He's trying to charge $549. So people know there's some event. Look at this, 307. There's an event, ladies and gentlemen. And these are the things that you need to know about. 204. Clearly an event. 189. Just steps from somewhere. 180. In this area, 3-bedroom villa. This looks like another Del Mar. So Del Mar is coming online now with their villas. These were out in 2020, 2020 and 2021, just so you know, Ecos Del Mar was around 135. You could add an extra room and you could pay like 8 or 10,000 more. So 143, 145. You could add they had on their patio, it was big enough and they had a bathroom that you can add a bathroom and a bedroom out there because the patio was like a 10 by 10 or 12 by 12. So some people did, and they paid one person here, Investment Hawk paid 143 for his. And so now he knows, apparently he can probably get, it looks like in this area, you can get 160, 180 that gets you your 1%. And in certain instances, maybe even more. 360 penthouse apartment. I don't know where this is. YB Mar. They're asking. It's brand new. This is what I'm talking about. This is good signs. But April 7th. So keep this in your head. April 7th through the 14th, the second or first week in April, it must be some event going on. Everybody from that's renting in Punta Cana, keep that in your head. With all that said, Punta Cana may have different rules. Victor Marrero, I suspect you'll have more flexibility to let the renters use the amenities and those fees transferred to you as the owner. Well, Victor Marrero, we got a problem at Cruise on Land. If apparently, I don't know if you're in the rental pool. I mean, if you're not in the rental pool, can you pay the $65? I think you can still pay the $65 per room. So whether you're in the rental pool or not, I don't know why they wouldn't accept the money and help the system grow. So I think that'll be fine. At Margaritaville, though, you said they don't get any amenities. So I don't think Cruise on Land is that cold. I think you can still pay and not be in the rental pool. So that's pretty cool. With all that being said, at Victor Morrell from George's Charles, what do you think of cruise people not in the rental pool can only do plus or minus? We went through this already. Eric, you telling me someone who has not access to the amenities are going to charge more than others in the rental pool? Well, the answer you just found out from Cana. You just saw people are charging way more than they usually do because of dynamic pricing. There's some event going on. So therefore, they're charging $600 a night. I'm pretty sure the management company probably wasn't charging $600 a night and $500 a night. So again, it all depends. Everything is dynamic. You never know what's going to happen. If there's an event, an amphitheater event, of course, the rental pool, they're going to rent at a higher rate. But some people might go, well, you guys are charging too low. I want to charge $100 more per night. And they're going to say, sorry, you can't do that. That's all I'm saying. It should be left up to the owner, not left up to them. They can go to the Sunset Walk. So I already went through some of this. All right. We saw Curtis Davis, Mr. Financial in the house. Again, go see Chili Davis. And you know what I haven't done? Wow. What is his occupancy rate? Let's see. George's Charles, my concern, Cana will have, yeah, they will. It'll be interesting. Keep in mind that if you're in a rental pool, you don't have to worry about, yes, we went through that. They can go to the Sunset Walk, yes. But Sunset Walk is just, well, actually, it's right there. It's pretty nice. Victor Morrell, he is charging that with 80%. Do people know they have to pay for access to the Hard Rock amenities? Eric, I finally see your point, but at Victor Morrell, I like the rental pool for less headache. Yes, we all would like the rental pool for less headaches. I tell you, we all need the amenities on our PC projects. Exactly. They aren't Orlando where some renters can care less about amenities. All they want is a place to sleep and be gone during the day at Disney or Universal or SeaWorld or Legoland. There's a lot of things to do. And he's exactly right. You get both, best of both worlds. And Victor Morrell's saying exactly right. You need amenities. There is no way around it. You can't have a project. And I'm not, Cruise on Land's not like Margaritaville. I don't know yet. We're trying to find out. I don't think if you're in the rental, not in the rental pool, I think you can still pay the $65 per person to go use, or per room to go during your stay to go use the amenities. I think that's still going to be a thing. I hope it is, because otherwise that would even be more of a travesty that you have to rent for, you can't be in the rental pool and you lose amenities. So I can't even remember now because we've been talking about so many subject matters. But he's right about Orlando. Punta Cana is not Orlando. You're not going to be out. I mean, you can go to the zip lines and those splash parks and all that, but you're not. It ain't Disney where you can have to be there 2 or 3 days. Victor Morel says my rental contract is for 1 year. I have to give them at least 30 days of notice to terminate. Also, if you're going to rent without amenities, you better tell the renter up front. That's very, very key. That's mandatory. If there's any deviation with not being able to have access to any part of the project or any of the amenities, you better say, just like, okay, I'll use a perfect example at Vista Cana and Larimar and at Cana Rock, there's a golf course. In your listing, you're going to have to say to go to the country club, like Larimar, to go to the country club and play golf, it costs extra. And of course, you'll know how much it's going to cost, so you might want to list it. But all I'm saying is you're going to have to say that if you want to play golf, the green fees are, and if you want to hang out in that clubhouse, the fees are. That's what you're going to have to say. And then your renter, they know upon arrival, okay, if I'm going to go play golf, I'm going to have to pay extra. None of this included stuff, right? Anything they have to pay extra for, you got to let them know. If you have a water park or some amenities like at Cruise on Land, you can, well, here's something else. So normally what we would do, if you have to pay for amenities, I would include it in my rent. So then my rent has to go up because I'm paying an extra $130 a month. But over the course of a month, we're talking about, what is that, $4 a night or $5? So it's not even major, as long as it's $65 per room. So if I have a 2-bedroom, that's $130, that's not major. Now, if they change it and say it's $200 per month, okay, now we're starting to get up. Okay, that's $7 or $8. Okay, per night. Okay, that's still not major. But the fact of the matter is, I would want to include that in my rent. I would just charge the people an extra $10 per night. But if that goes over, or, well, goes over, I guess they'll be fine with over, plus or minus. But my point is, now I guess we're somewhat level if they allow me to pay. And I can't remember, do they allow me to pay if I don't rent at Cruise on Land? Facts. Orlando is like Anaheim. People don't care about amenities. It's all about Disney Park. Exactly. Ray Del Cabezos is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. We're talking about Airbnb. We're talking about projects that are going to have amenities. We're talking about the changes at Cruise on Land. And he says his tagline this evening, good evening, SSN family. Thanks, Eric, for sharing this info. I have a family member who bought at Cruise on Land. Well, there you go. Tell them to check their contract. When did they buy? Because I have a sneaky suspicion that they kind of changed some things over time. I don't know, because I don't have a 2020 contract, or, well, 2022 contract. I don't think I have one of those. That was early on. So some people may have a different contract, just like the people who bought in the beach early on in 2020. They have a different contract than somebody buying in now. Totally different, not totally different, but a slightly different contract. All right, at Cana Rock, Galaxy owner, we can only use the casino and disco club starting at 6 p.m. Anything else, we will need a 6-hour day pass. Yep. Galaxy will have its own restaurant and pool bar. Yes, that's exactly right. And the day pass is $100, $105. And if you want the night pass, I think it's $130, $135. And if you want all day pass, isn't it like $150? Something like that per person. Not for the whole time you're there. Margaritaville water park is called Island H2O. There we go. I think you have a discount now for a 1-year pass. If you don't have a pass, you pay $50 per person. And it includes all the rides. $50 a person. All right, cool. So a person has a choice, though, Victor Morel. That's the key. The people, your neighbors, they tell people you don't have amenities. If you want to go to the H2O water park, you pay $50 per person every day during your stay. The people are like, who cares? We're at SeaWorld, Universal, Disney. We don't care about that. Or they'll say, okay, can I pay for the amenities? And you say, no, only the water park. But they know this up front before they reserve, and they know they're not paying Victor Marrero prices. They know that they're probably going to pay $150, $200 less or $100 less. They know they're going to get a discount. That's what they know. So that's the kicker. All right, Victor Marrero, that's why you didn't get Cana. By the way, you have to pay over $100 for the day pass. Yes. For the half day pass, it's $105, I think. George's Charles, yes, renters will have to get day pass to use all the Hard Rock amenities. However, we as owners get up to a 40% discount. We have enjoyed this discount even now without the unit. That's sweet. 40% is better than what they were originally talking about. They were like talking 5, 10%. I was just like, that's not even worth it. 40%? Okay. 40, $50 where it's $50 a person, $60 a person. We can live with that. But this 120 or 120 and all that, that's crazy. That's real crazy. Victor Marrero, the realtors lied to us and told us we would have access to Hard Rock amenities. Yeah, exactly. When I was there in 2020, that's what they were saying. They were basically acting like it, letting me draw my own conclusion. Nobody said, oh, no, you don't have access. But then again, the beach club wasn't built, so there was no reason to go down there. So there's a bunch of things why it could go by until it was built. Victor, if Kyle went to Gwen, make sure Gwen gives you the referral. Kyle, did you tell them SSN Nation sent you to use Gwen? Yes. He knows SSN, and yes, I use Gwen. Yeah, he told me. Actually, he told me already. So, yeah, all's good. Holy Week is like that everywhere in Punta Cana. Okay, there we go. I thought it was in a Latin area. It's usually Holy Week. A lot of local tourism make up this. Yes, you won't find any empty hotel near the beach this week or next. It's crazy. Hell, I see people charging 2 or 3 times what they normally charge during this week and next week. By the way, it's 2 weeks apparently in the DR. That's how it is in Mexico, in some parts of Mexico and Caribbean islands. It's 2 weeks. Holy Week. So this is great news. I didn't realize Holy Week was this big. This is awesome news. So now you guys know, first week in April, raise your prices for the next 2 weeks at least, maybe even a whole month. We don't know. I don't know their traditions. So if they're, I'm in shock by this. And just think, if you had your Vista Cana units, ladies and gentlemen, your 2 bedrooms, your 1 bedrooms, you could be charging $250 a night, $350 a night, $400 a night. And people would come there and be like, wait, I got these water, I got this beach, I got the restaurants, I got this fishing lake, this beach club, I can go over here. I got this sports complex if they had it built. Oh, yeah, this would be, man. Hard Rock is probably charging, $1,300, $1,400 per night. After that, they're adding on an extra, 8-10%. So they're adding on an extra, Jesus. You spend $3,000, they're charging you $350 taxes, and then they're charging you some sort of resort fee. I mean, this is out of control. People are going to pay like $4,000 for 3 nights. No, they're going to pay more than that, $4,500 for 3 nights. Insanity. Schools are still going at that time. Start of May and September is slow. Every other month is good for rental. Well, there you go. Victor Marrero already has, because his friend is renting there, so he can give him a gauge on how it goes. Everybody else like me, I have to study, and I have to put a marker down. April, big time. And then we know January, February, and March is big time. So we're winning. Thaw Cana Rock annual golf tournament is going on in May, or the Cana Rock. Oh, there we go. Another event. Cana Rock. See, that's one of the advantages. They have events. So these golf tournaments, Larimar has an 18-hole championship golf course with a country club. They can host golf tournaments. They're not going to be able to host the PGA because that one at the Espada or España, whatever, how you pronounce that golf course on the water, is freaking Pebble Beach-like. Meaning courses you're shooting and the backdrop is the ocean. That's beautiful stuff there. All right. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's our lesson for the day. We talked about a whole bunch of things with regard to Airbnb and how you can price and place your units and the nuances of different things that you can do. I know it was rapid fire. I know we were talking about cruise on land, but keep in mind, this applies to every project. There's no difference. So again, I'll recap some little nuances like Victor Morel brought up. He said, hey, some people charge more because they can, because they're by the pool. Some people charge more because they have pool view. Some people charge more because they're in certain parts of the building and they can. How would you know this? You have to do research. Airbnb is changing. You're going to have to do more research than ever, especially if you're going to try and get a license and then rent in a residential neighborhood, because more and more what's happening is these condo hotel type places are showing up with amenities, luxury condos, fitness, rooftop deck with a bar on it. All this stuff is happening inner city, outside of the city. So now they're creating competition because people are going to rent there and people are going to live there. So they want people, whether you're renting or live there, to have the best amenities so they can charge you a higher price. Common sense. And that works for rentals when you're doing Airbnb, VRBOs, and short-term rentals. These are the things that you need to think about. Thank you for letting me know about the thaw. I didn't realize that. But of course, once we get closer to 2025, everybody's going to want to find out about all of these. You're going to mark your calendars. And that's where you make your money. And again, I'm going to say what's dangerous is if Victor Morel says, hey, there's a Cana golf tournament, right? And he had a rental pool situation like Cruise on Land. And he knows that Hard Rock is charging $1,300. And Hard Rock says, hey, you guys all have to charge within 10% of what we're charging. So you all have to charge over $1,000. Clearly, most people won't stay in their unit when they don't have access to the amenities. They would say, okay, I guess, and they can't charge $500 a night because the rule is you have to charge plus or minus 10%. Now that gives the advantage to anybody that's in the rental pool that's charging that amount for Hard Rock, if Hard Rock had a rental pool, but they don't. But all I'm saying is that's what I'm referring to, because that is what they're doing at Cruise on Land, and I don't like it. What's supposed to happen is what they're doing right now. Cruise on Land, Cana Rock or Hard Rock, they're charging $1,400 per night. And people at Cana Rock are like, I see your $1,400. We're going to charge $600. We're going to charge $500. We're going to charge $400 because you're charging $1,300. That's how it should be. There's a capitalist ecosystem. And the people know I have no access to the property. But I'm going to tell you what, you can charge $400 or $500 per night because they won't mind going to get 4 bracelets for half a day at $105, because even when they're renting from you and paying for the passes, guess what? $1,000. They're not paying $1,400. So they're saving $400 per day times 5 days. You guys can start doing math. $2,000 savings. Yes, I'm going to stay in a 2-bedroom condo instead of a hotel room. And we have a pool here. Great. I don't have the 6 pools, but we got pass. And we don't need to go every day. So maybe we'll go once or twice in the 3 or 4 days we're here. But the other 2 days we don't go, we're saving nearly $800 to $1,000. That is a beautiful thing. So Victor Morel, it looks like you have a lifeline. Looks like you're going to have a lifeline. People finally got smart and everybody said, hey, why am I charging $118 during Holy Week? Why am I charging $120, $150? They're like, hell no, I'm going to charge $500 or $600 like they're supposed to. And once those people do it, everybody else is going to do it too. Except there's going to be outliers. Some people won't know. They'll be the 150, 160, 180 guy. And so who cares? There's going to be so many people. Those will be rented out. And then they're going to have to deal with everybody else that's left over. It's a beautiful thing. All right. That wraps it up. I didn't even get a chance to play any of the SSN lifestyle items tonight. But let's do one before we go. All right. We'll do this one.
Come on, come on.
Just a little SSN lifestyle coming back to life. So we got some things to talk about with SSN lifestyle soon, because you guys already know. You know where Founders Club members are going to be staying? They're going to be staying at Punta Cana, inside Vista Cana at Panorama Gardens. They're going to be staying in Primavera. And now they're going to be possibly staying as choices during the year, some years, at Larimar. How about that? Is that pretty sweet? That's going down. I left the best for last, right? So watch the videos. I have another video dropping today for part 2 on cryptocurrency, Miracle Cash, and more. They're giving out some more details. They now have 2 more extra streams of revenue. I'll be talking about that in another video another day, but I'm dropping the corporate video part 2 of 3. I'm probably going to do it after this live stream, because I already have it ready. It's just that my computer actually reset and it shut down when it was transferring. So I had to redo it. So thank you so much for being here, everybody. I love you guys very much. See you on Friday night at 9:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll be talking about more of this cruise on land at that time. And we'll be talking about some more Larimar. So that's all there is to it, but to just do it. So again, your guys know always, I'm getting to the ending here, but you guys know I love you. You guys know I appreciate your support. I thank you so much. If you have not received any of the videos, notifications, please sign up at the very bottom for the newsletter. Every time I do or put out a video, I then send an email 95% of the time. It's not even 99% of the time, 95% of the time. So please sign up for the email list. And there are valuable things down below, such as free stocks from Robinhood and Webull, if you still haven't downloaded there. But just be safe out here. And again, I love you. I appreciate the support. And always keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.